To jest najlepsze radio w sieci. Oj, chyba nie. To jest najlepsze radio w sieci.
Gorican, and we are thoroughly looking. It's a decade since we've been here. It was 2012 for the last time we visited this part of the world, and we are about very soon to meet the riders. Super looking shot from the aerial camera now, the drone camera looking down on the car park, looking down a really nice setup. Alongside me is former British champion, former world number 3, Chris Lewis. I must say, what a spectacular stadium, isn't it?
It's a lovely stadium. It's a beautiful part of the world here in Croatia, and this stadium just outside Gorican.
And here we see the riders being introduced, the new presentations being up, the young riders coming into the score. Makizego, of course, a wild card coming up, has a great record here. Dan Bewley now, coming into substitute.
And a fantastic qualifying as well.
Oh yeah, terrific in qualifying. Jack Holder coming up there as well, another last-minute substitution for Artem Daguta.
Yeah, Patrick Tudek, a welcome return to the Grand Prix Series, exciting rider.
Great to see Patrick back in the series. Mikhail Nicholson, the 2-time European champion, the reigning European champion, looking for a really big series this year, getting off to a good start.
Pavel Przewalski, really exciting to watch, and he's got a lot to prove, I think, in this Grand Prix series.
Yes, indeed. Martin Veselik will be relishing the challenge here. I fancy he could have a big night. Robert Lambert also is a rider that's really maturing now, and with the Speedway of Nations victory last year, you've got to believe he's going to be looking for a really big season.
Jason, a rider I know well, working with him at Ipswich. He's had a pretty good start to the season. He looks confident.
Max Strick, of course, a former Grand Prix winner, back in the series, qualified through the challenge. Leon Madsen, former world number 2, looking to recapture that form from 2019.
Ty Wolfenden, we know that he's a 3 times world champion, but he's looking for more.
Yeah, Frederick Lingard now saying he's healthy, had all sorts of issues with COVID last year, really did struggle with his health, so got to believe that he's looking forward to a strong campaign.
Yeah,
and that's taking Oski there, a rider that's got to produce something special this year for sure, Chris.
He has, he's got to podium in the World Championship soon.
And the red hot favourite, Bartosz Smarslik. He's there, the 2-time world champion. Who's going to beat him in 2022?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our national anthem singer and sing all together. Are you ready? Please stand up.
Crazy loud, can't hear anything.
Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our national anthem singer and sing all together with Mr. Mirko Święta Żyga.
Lijepa nasza domowino, oj junačka, zemljo mila, stare slave djedovino, da bi vazda sretna bila, mila kano si nam slavna, mila si nam ti jedina, mila kuda si nam ravna, mila kuda si planina Nitki Dunav silu gubi, sinje more svijetu reci, da svoj narod Hrvat ljubi, dok mu njive sunce grije, dok mu hraše bura bije, dok mu mrtve grobak krije, dok mu živo srce bije.
Veliki pljesak za našeg Žigu.
Well, super rendition of the national anthem here. Terrific atmosphere in the stadium. But as people are settling down, we are looking forward to a Group Super Grand Prix. But very recently we lost somebody very dear to our hearts. Got to say, it was the voice of Speedway. Nigel Pearson passed away very suddenly at the Easter weekend. We pay tribute to him now. I was there alongside him that night. It was an extraordinary race when Chris Harris stole that win from Greg Hancock rather. And I must say I'm quite emotional about that because Nigel Pearson was a very dear friend of mine, and it was a shock to us all when he passed away. Not too much longer now. Riders will gently make their way back towards the pit area, and we will wait. It won't be too much longer before the riders begin to make themselves ready for the opening race in the 2022 World Championship. I would just like to say a few words about my dear friend Nigel Pearson. We had a special relationship, we had a chemistry that I think was very special, working together for 20 years. And I know I'm going to miss him like crazy. His family, of course, Perry, Liam, Jake, Sarah. I know that they will be going, it's a tough time for all of them, but there's no doubt that he was the voice of Speedway, and I know Nigel looking down, and this one is for you. I hope we make you proud. Rest in peace, my dear friend.
Well done, Kelvin. I know how it is for you, mate, and we'll do this one for Nigel.
Yeah.
It's an honour to sit alongside you and help you through this one, mate.
Thank you very much, Chris. That's very kind. So here we see the line-up for tonight's Grand Prix. The starting list, Hagar. Of course, the wild card tonight has a good record here, winning 2 Challenge Grand Prix finals, and not too far from home, of course. There's plenty of support for Matty Zager. Wasn't outstanding in qualifying earlier on, but I'm sure he's going to turn that around. And it's looking a competitive lineup. Bikes out for the opening race, Chris, and we're about to get on with the action. And I must say that everybody's on the edge of their seats. There's a really good crowd in and a terrific atmosphere. And that's good news. Lots of new graphics and pits, and I must say, very exciting indeed. And we've got Jason Doyle, former world champion, coming out in heat number 1 with Robert Lambert, Jack Holder and Patrick Dudek, who's also back in the big time Speedway. So a really good looking heat number 1 to start the series with.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Grand Prix series. It's a new era for the Grand Prix series under Discovery Sports Events, and they really have gone to town. You know, I mean, the pits, the push-off area, the stadium, the podium in the middle of the circuit. Everything is absolutely spot on, and it's just adding to the atmosphere. And I'm sure it's having an effect on these guys as they line up to go out into the arena now.
Yeah, you're right, and we saw some. The track behaved itself pretty well in qualifying earlier today. In the past, this track has been quite unpredictable, but they've worked very hard with the surface. and we saw it behave pretty well. But this is when it really counts. World Championship points on the line, and these guys are really beginning to focus. There's no doubt that we will be very interesting to see how they get on. It's been a decade since we've been to this part of the world. They've run rather 3 Grand Prix previously, with Mikhail Pearson actually winning the Grand Prix in 2012. We have got a small delay. We won't be too far away though from the boys being pushed off, some technical issue in the pits. I'm sure it will be resolved pretty quickly. But yeah, it's held plenty of international events in the interim 10 years as well, Chris, you know, with European Championships and Challenge. So we're accustomed to running big events here.
Yeah, I think Jason Doyle was probably feeling quite lucky to be out in Heat 1 wearing the red helmet colour, Gate 1, always a good gate here. And he only qualified 10th, so to find himself being able to pick draw number 1 was quite remarkable, I think.
Yes, he was very pleased to take that. He'll get 2 inside gates, and one of them being in the very first race of the evening, the very first race of this year's championship. It's too far away. We've got the 2-minute warning on, and the riders now just beginning to make their way round. Jason Doyle, who hasn't quite been able to recapture that form that he showed in 2016 and 17, and he started the season domestically with his league clubs in fine fettle. This is the Australian now approaching the inside gate, and he'll be looking to get off to a really good, strong start. Here's another rider that must be very excited, a little bit nervous as well, Chris, Jack Holder coming in to replace Artem Laguta.
Yeah, big boots to fill, but he's going to come off gate 3, which traditionally and statistically here at Gorican is the worst gate, but you know, I think things are reasonably even in the first race. I wouldn't have told that to him as he was lining up, but Patrick Dudek as well off the outside, exciting rider to watch.
So here we go for heat number 1 then, and we've got Jason Doyle on the inside in red, we've got Robert Lambert in blue going away from gate number 2, Jack Holder in the white helmet colour going from gate number 3, and on the outside in the yellow helmet colour we've got Patrick Dudek, and it's a long way from gate number 4. We heard from Martin Vasilik in the pre-meeting studio. He was saying that starting it really is at a premium at this track, and I've got the feeling that the inside gate just may prove to be advantageous in the early stages of the Grand Prix. Right, here we go, setting now for the opening race. The plates are up, and away they go, and it's a fabulous start from Robert Lambert out of gate number 2, just drifting a touch wide out of the first turn. It's neck and neck down that back straight. He just about holds off Jason Doyle, who settles into second place. Guzman out in front, completes the first lap out in front. Super stuff from him. Patrick Dudek into 3rd place with Jack Holder at the back. But what a start, Chris, from Robert Lambert.
Absolutely smooth as you like off the start. Just made the bike work absolutely perfectly. Came under pressure from Jason Doyle for that first lap. Indeed, you could throw a blanket over all 4 of them for a lap, but now the race is settling down. It's all a little bit round the inside at the moment. The track will take a few races to develop.
Well, indeed, there is the final lap. Robert Lambert not putting a foot wrong here. I said it earlier on, he really is beginning to mature as a rider, and he's pulling away out in front. His bike is hooking up. He's looking good. We're around the final corner of the opening race of the 2022 World Speedway Championship with Robert Lambert. In fine style, picks up the 3 points there. We'll be absolutely delighted to get off to such a strong start in the championship. 2nd place for Jason Doyle, Patrick Dudek in 3rd place, and Jack Holder.
From the start, Robert Lambert, he dropped the clutch, he just got himself positioned very, very quickly. Surprised that actually running wide like that, he didn't get passed up the inside by Jason Doyle, but Jason's bike not quite working as well on the slick conditions as Robert Lambert, and Robert will be made up to start like that. I think Jason Doyle will be a little frustrated to have let Robert Lambert make the start on him off gate 2, because gate 1 really should be an advantage at this stage. But yeah, for a lap there, very, very close stuff.
It was indeed, but the man who has formerly won the European Championship and won the Speedway of Nations last year, of course, in fine style in Manchester, he gets off to a terrific start with the 3 points for him. Here we see the result now. Lambert picks up 3, Doyle in 2nd place with the 2 points, Patrick Dudek on 1, and Jack Holder fails to score at the back. And it's a good start for them. Heat number 2 now, not too far away, and we've got the two-time world champion Bartosz Szmarslik, who topped the charts on the time charts in qualifying and did not hesitate to take the number 5 starting position in tonight's Grand Prix. There is the main man. We were talking earlier, Chris, about the fact, is there somebody in this field that can really challenge him, because he's coming into this series as the red-hot favourite?
Undoubtedly, he is the red-hot favourite, 2 times world champion, desperately looking to retain or regain that title, I should say. But, yeah, you know, there are guys in here that can beat him. Will they beat him on a consistent basis and score more points over the series? Possibly, but he's still my favourite, undoubtedly.
Indeed he is. Off the inside, Bartosz Szmarslik in red, and blue on gate number 2 is Matej Zagan. Paweł Szypelski coming into the Grand Prix. He goes out of gate number 3. And on the outside, we've got Marcin Vasilik, who will be looking to get away for a fast start. But you've got to believe, with the form he's shown in the Polish league already this season so far, he really has been in fine form. Szmarslik coming inside, takes up. Away they go in heat number 2, and Paweł Szypelski out of gate number 3. Fabulous start from him. Sweeps round the outside of Bartosz Szmarslik. We've got Marcin Vasilik on the outside in the yellow helmet colour, running 2 ways. Lingard now slipping up into 3rd place. Szypelski out in front, but you've got to say, Szmarslik round the outside, squeezing underneath the handlebar. Superb stuff, eye-catching stuff once again from Bartosz Szmarslik.
Szypelski left him absolutely nothing there, and he just took it. Unbelievable stuff. You can see how he works the bike, the leg coming there out of the footrest just to regain his balance as the bike pulls a little bit hard unexpectedly there. But Szmarslik, if there's any doubt that he's come here to win this round and this series this year, I think he's...
It's a real statement of fact, isn't it? Yes, certainly, Chris. He really did mean business there, and he charges on the last corner. And Bartosz Szmarslik wins at the canter. And I've got to say, he's just thrown the gauntlet down to the rest of the opposition. Szypelski getting away really well. So couldn't hold on to the lead. He came under massive pressure, and Szmarslik absolutely super duper coming through into the winning position.
Yeah, from the start, Szypelski really did a good job from gate 3. Not an easy gate to come across in these early races, and obviously putting the pressure on Szmarslik. But Szmarslik, he's so confident. You know, any riders at the moment may look at this track and say, I've got to ride around the inside, I've maybe got to protect the position that I have. It's 2 points in the bag for him if he does that. But oh no, that's not the way he does it. We can see here as he makes the pass, has to readjust things. Szypelski makes a late bid to convince him to back the throttle off. He does it a little bit too late, not quite enough, but if it had gone any further, that would have ended in tears.
Oh, brilliant stuff from Bartosz Szmarslik. An out-and-out racer, the opening race of his campaign, and he comes away with a really eye-catching performance. And you've got to believe that this man is going to be the man to beat. So yeah, 3 points to Bartosz Szmarslik. Beautiful move there. Paweł Szypelski, 2 points for him. Zagan coming through in 3rd place. And Marcin Vasilik just missing out this time, and he'll be reflecting on that. But got to say that I think that had everybody on the edge of their seat. So heat number 3, back up at tapes. Leon Madsen there in the yellow helmet colour on the outside gate. He'll be looking to recapture that form that we saw in 2019 when he came so very close to actually picking up his first World Championship. On the inside, Frederick Lingard in red, but Anders Thompson in blue on the gate number 2, Mikhail Nicholson on gate number 3 in white, and going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour is Leon Madsen. But the 2-time European champion coming out of gate number 3, he would have been quite impressed with the way Szypelski came away from there, Chris. Could he make that? Could he do something similar?
He'll be buoyed by that, that's for sure. And he had a good qualification earlier today in 4th place. So he's coming into this race obviously happy with the bike, happy with conditions. Frederick Lingard off the inside, it's going to be hard to beat from there. I think he's going to try and capitalise on having gate 1.
Bit of a Scandinavian shootout here, I've got to say. There's no question about that. But here we go, settling down. Heat number 3, really green lights. Oh, Anders Thompson charges through the tapes. Oh, that's desperately disappointing for Thompson, the Danish rider, who actually qualified this afternoon very well indeed, but it's you can ill afford to really give away rides, and That is a desperate start for his campaign. He's excluded there. If you're new to Speedway and you touch or break the tapes like that, and you don't have a reprieve, you're out of the race.
Yeah, and it's going to affect his night as well, because, you know, your first race, obviously everybody's nervous, there's a bit of the jitters, but at the end of the day now he knows he's done that. He's going to have to be reserved at the start. He can't afford to take any more nibbles at it. I can see there, it's a guess, Kelvin. You know, he just impatient.
Yeah, sometimes you can actually sort of have some sympathy because the rider on the inside of him may have moved and sort of encouraged him to go early, but when you see the replay there, that Jesper Steentoft, our referee from Denmark, had no option but to just put the exclusion light on. We have less than 2 minutes before riders need to be up at tapes, and they need to be up at tapes. There is a little bit of maintenance going on the bikes. We may well see a reserve rider, and we are. Number 17 is Nick Skoja from Slovenia, will replace Anders Thompson here. We have seen him in Speedway of Nations and also World Cup, so he's not unaccustomed to international racing, but I've got to say that this is a huge step up for him.
Yeah, it's a massive step up. And just a quick word about Frederick Lingard. I had a long chat with him earlier today. He's been suffering last year, very much so with long COVID. Had a bit of lung damage. He couldn't train. He said he couldn't even do a 2K run. And every meeting, he had a whole day in bed to recover from it. So it was tough.
So on the inside in red is Freddie Lingard. We've got gate number 2 in blue now, Nick Skoja. Gate 3 is Mikhail Nicholson in white, and on the outside is Leon Madsen in yellow. And the restart, second time of asking for heat number 3. And just a bit of nerve shown there by Anders Thompson. He'd been kicking himself back in the pits, won't he? He would have really, really desperately wanted to get away to a fine start here this evening. So riders just settling down nicely. Green light is about to come on. Here we go. Takes up and away they go. Mikhail Nicholson once again, gate number 3, providing a terrific run to the first corner for him. Down the back straight he goes. Freddie Lingard. Madsen dives up the inside, through into second place. Strong move from the Danish rider there. Nicholson out in front. Freddie Lingard trying to respond, diving up the inside as they start the second lap. But Mikhail Nicholson got away. Fabulous, with a house on fire out in front. Terrific stuff from him.
Yeah, qualified well. He's translated that into his first race now tonight. He's looking smooth, looking comfortable. I have to say, Leon Madsen is working it. He's building up plenty of momentum and speed. He's got good speed in the bike. And he's fully fit now. He's had a lot of injuries, but tonight I have to say he is suffering from flu, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him too badly.
No, it's not indeed, but Mickelson's got this race under control. They're down the back straight for the last time. A clean pair of heels to the opposition. He's going to pick up a big 3 points in his opening gambit for this season. Madsen looking strong in second place. Without that, he came through nicely and he got the better of Freddie Lingard early doors in the race. But Mikhail Nicholson, sharp away from the tapes, but good out in front. Really didn't come under too much pressure. Yeah, you've got to say Madsen may be threatened there momentarily.
Yeah, we can see from the start again, gate 3, after I said it was the worst gate statistically, seems to be working quite well so far. Freddie Lingard, I did. Frederick Lingard, having made a reasonable start from gate 1, he just didn't know where to ride, and Madsen really made the bike work very, very well. Got it hooking up down the back straight, forces his way through on the first lap, and made the gap up a little bit, but Nicholson was just smooth, kept it in the right place, and no way past for Leon Madsen.
Yeah, nice ride from Mikhail Nicholson out in front. Got to say, a nice professional ride. Didn't put a foot wrong. He'll be really pleased with that. That'll settle his nerves down for sure. We saw some nerves, of course, with Anders Thompson charging the tape. So 3 points for Nicholson. Nice start for him. Leon Madsen, a strong ride for his 2 points. Freddie Lingard back in third, and Nick Skoja just failing to score.
Magic, yeah, I see, just looking at him, and he's an enigma, isn't he? I mean, he's such a good rider. I can't believe in in the years he's had so far that he hasn't been able to podium, at least in the championship.
Well, that is a surprise. When you told me that statistic earlier on today, I thought, wow, I can't believe it. He's a multiple Grand Prix winner. He's led the World Championship. Hugely talented rider, but...
Yeah, massive star in the league racing last year, won both in Sweden and in Poland. It just doesn't translate it in any consistency in the World Championship.
Right, we're up at tapes, and heat number 4 is about to get underway. We've got Ty Woofenden, the 3-time former world champion, going from the inside. We haven't seen a winner there from the inside yet, and it will be just so. Woofenden on the inside in red. Max Frick going out of gate number 2 in blue. Maciej Janowski in 3 in white. On the outside, we will see Dan Bewley, who was spectacular at the qualifying. Terrific time he put in. Didn't really understand what he was doing, I don't think, when he was interviewed, but nonetheless, he did remarkably well, and he chose to come out in this race, so it'll be interesting to see how it get on. Of course, Frick and Bewley were teammates back in the UK, but here we go, settling down for heat number 4. Now, away they go. Superstar on the inside, but it's Janowski once again. That gate number 3 is giving you a terrific run to the first turn. Frick coming through, slamming Ty Woofenden up against the fence down the back straight for the first time. Janowski out in front, looking very impressive at the early stages. Woofenden now trying to respond up the inside. Oh, it's got that right hooked up. Frick and Woofenden tight down the back straight. Crikey, breathe in, boys. Not much racing room there.
Max Frick bouncing it off the fence going into turn 3, but it's kept him ahead. But Ty Woofenden, oh, so close to the high side in it.
Bewley now
Bewley's just taking advantage of that. But meanwhile, Janowski up front, keeping it smooth, riding out in the dirt mid-track and pulling away in this one.
Yeah, Janowski's got this all tied up. He's a class apart. Bewley coming through in the 3rd place. An opportunist move there with Ty Woofenden just losing momentum momentarily. But Maciej Janowski, very impressive indeed. A big 3 points for him. Bewley coming from the back and actually threatening for 2nd place as they complete the 4 laps. But that man out in front, brilliant ride from him. He'll be delighted with that. Really did have a lot of pace out in front. Terrific battle for 2nd and 3rd, and I've got to say that was probably the race of the night so far.
And once again, that terrible gate position 3 makes the first turn and wins the race, but it was a fabulous start to do that.
What did you say about that again?
Well, it's the statistics side.
Oh, I see.
It's not my...
Oh, right, okay. Blame the stats.
Not my opinion.
We're blaming the stats.
But it was so tight out there, and you can see here Ty Woofenden up the line. That's where Max Frick just managed to get himself back ahead of Ty Woofenden, but it was the help of the fence and the dirt that built up around the bottom of it that managed to do that. Actually, Ty has actually kicked Max Frick's bike there, and you should see Ty shaking his head. It really was an error as he dived in.
So, super stuff from Janowski, and we'll see the results. We see it. Super ride from Janowski, 3 points for him. Max Frick in 2nd place, 2 points. Dan Bewley, a strong ride from Bewley because he didn't get away very well. He gets the 1, and Ty Woofenden was in the thick of the action and really failed to finish. So the 4 winners so far is Lambert, Smarslick, Nicholson and Janowski. And a good strong start from all of those 4 riders. Terrific stuff from them.
A spark of inspiration.
It looks like there's a bit more moisture on the outside of the track rather than the inside, so we'll keep an eye on that.
It's been in the shade all afternoon, so when they were doing the track preparation, the outside half of the track didn't dry out.
Right, here we go. Settling down for heat number 5. Green light is now on, and away we go. I'm going to say Bewley's made a really good fist of it off the inside. Terrific move from him. But Doyle, what a move from Jason Doyle in the first corner. He really did switch to the inside brilliantly. Split 2nd, thinking there. Really had his brain engaged. Here comes Bewley trying to get the better of the Australian. Tight as they go into the first turn. Smarslick now battling away there. He's desperately trying to get the better of Dan Bewley comes through into third place with Mikhail Nicholson. Both the heat winners are now in third and fourth. Doyle out in front. Really now beginning to push on, Chris.
Yeah, Smarslik just trying to drill a hole through Dan Bewley as they came into turn 3 on the second lap. But Dan seems to have settled down. But Jason Doyle out front, really smart first turn. Had a terrible start. The clutch just seemed to bite a little bit too hard for him. He went up in the air, but Smarslik is still working away. He's not going to give in as they come in here.
One more corner to go. Doyle's got this one all wrapped up. Terrific ride from the Australian. But out of the last corner, Bewley hangs on. That's a good ride from Dan Bewley to hang on for second place. Immense pressure from Bartosz Smarslik back in third, and a shock result for Mikhail Nicholson. A winner first time out, failing to score in his second ride. But for Jason Doyle, moving on to 5 points from 2 rides. Terrific stuff from him.
Yeah, Jason Doyle there, you can see off gate 2, the bike doesn't go forward, it just goes up in the air. Smarslik there, you can see his feet out balancing the bike, but it is Dan Bewley in red that just gets the bike to the corner. And you can see he's made the decision he can't afford to drift too far wide, but he knew he'd got Smarslik there running in with him. And that's when Jason Doyle makes a perfect cut up the inside. Jason, in some respects, was kind of lucky to have made as bad a start as he did, because it gave him so much time to think about the cutback.
Well, effectively, he only had one choice, didn't he? Only had one chance to make that move, and it just paid massive dividends. So, yeah.
It all opened up in front of him, and he made the perfect decision.
And now we're coming towards the latter stages, and you've got Bartosz Smarslik chasing you down. Crikey, you've got to have some mental strength to hold him off, and I've got to say, Bewley did a great job to do that. Doyle picks up the 3 points, moving on to 5. Dan Bewley, that's 3 for him. And you've got to say that we're moving swiftly on. Mikhail Nicholson failing to score, and the 2-time world champion, just a solitary point for him. And we're up to heat number 6 already. So, heat number 6 then, and they're up at tapes, and we're rattling through this. On the inside is Max Frick in red, Freddie Lingard in blue on gate 2, Robert Lambert, a winner first time out, in white on gate number 3, and Pavel Shapelski off the outside, who finished second in his opening ride and made Bartosz Smarslik work to get the better of him. So,
great ride from Robert, his first one from gate 2.
Sure.
To get the better of Jason Doyle, and Scott gate 3 ordinarily. May have been concerned about that. Shouldn't be tonight.
No, not tonight, that's for sure. Frick just doing a little bit of extra work on the inside, just getting himself ready. Freddie Lingard looking to respond there, maybe a few tweaks. They don't panic in their camp. Experienced campaigner, of course. He was one of the riders that rode here back in 2012, the last time the Grand Prix was here. Green light is about to come on, it's on now, they settle down. Oh, a bit of movement from Lambert. Will there be a red light? No, there isn't. Steams off, the referee allows it to go on. Oh, Lambert on the inside. Clouts the side of Freddie Lingard, they all stay up, don't know how. Really was a moment there for Robert Lambert. I thought he might just get himself in all sorts of mischief, but he's riding strongly in second place. So get out the inside. What a move from Lambert.
Yeah, Robert was asking the bike for a little bit more traction. He was working the throttle, working his body weight, and it caught him out. And he planted into the side of Freddie Lingard, who is not giving up. He's entering the corner a little bit wider, looking for the cutback. Seems to be the move to make so far tonight, but Robert really on top of his game at the moment.
Super ride from Robert Lambert. It was a bit hair and scare him, you've got to say. It was very close between the two front. Freddie Lingard, as you know, he's a gritty performer. He's not thrown the towel in at all, but that inside line for Lambert round the first 2 corners is working a treat. One more corner to go. Lingard trying a big swoop in the outside, but Lambert goes back to back. Unbeaten after 2 rides. Terrific start for the Englishman so far this evening. Got to say, that was a very good effort for Robert Lambert there. Freddie Lingard didn't throw the towel in there. He did battle awfully hard.
Yeah, Robert just had a nibble there at the start, and as you said, is it going to be pulled back? It wasn't, and he has to work hard here now. You can just see working the throttle, the bike catches him out. Does fantastically well to stay on it, and Freddie Lingard must have wondered what was going on.
He did.
But yeah, after that, well, then he just grabs a handful of clubs. You know, it was just a poor start. We tried to anticipate it a little bit, but he did all the right things. But that is a moment. That is a serious moment.
That so easily could have been a massive high side down the straight.
It could have been a high side. It could have been a foot rest into a wheel there. There was so much that could have gone horribly wrong, but he managed to stay on it. Fair play, full credit to him. And then did everything right just to keep the charge of Frederick Lingard behind him after that.
Sgp-Gorican getting the better of Max Frigg early on in the race, but this was the real move that clinches the win there for Robert Lambert.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. He knew what he had to do. The cutback seems to be working very, very well tonight.
Robert Lambert has got it front wheel right over the line. Just that
we're a little bit close. No, it stays on the track.
Just about gets away with that. Terrific effort.
Couldn't have been any closer to that.
6 points out of 6.
Have to explain at this point that if a rider puts both of his wheels over the white line on the inside, he will be disqualified from the race.
That's right. And good stuff. So the result is, as we see, that another 3 points from Robert Lambert. Terrific effort from him. And back in second place was Freddie Lingard. We are waiting for the result, but we may get that, we may not, but Max Frigg just missing out that time, and Pavel Sgp-Gorican in third place. Just saw Phil Morris there having a word with, here we see the result, yeah, Max Frigg was at the back, Sgp-Gorican picks up the solitary point, Lingard in second, and Robert Lambert with a very, very impressive win out in front.
Fantastic stuff. We'll see them lining up now for heat number 7. Anders Thompson on the inside here. He's already been through the tapes and excluded in his first race, so he'll have that in the back of his mind.
Yeah, not ideal. He'll go from the inside gate, and he needs to be just a little bit more patient. He settles down inside gate, red helmet colour for Anders Thompson. Ty Wolfenden in blue, gate 2. Matty Zagar, gate 3 in white. And Jack Holder in yellow on the outside gate. Jack will be looking for a big start from there. Zagar, don't count him out. He's a wild card. Trying to make a statement in front of the organisers, the new organisers. He wants to get back in the Grand Prix, hungry for more action. Anders Thompson, of course, will be nervous. He hasn't got any experience, hasn't done a lap so far this evening. He'll want to try and get away cleanly this time and get amongst the points. And Wolfenden, a disappointing opening race to Chris. He wants to get it, really does need to get his nose in front this time.
It now.
Here we go, settling down, the green lights are, the tapes are up, and Wolfenden makes a really good jump out of gate number 2. Zagar's there alongside him. Wolfenden hugging the inside, Fight powers off the first corner. Down the backside, Zagar! Big move from Zagar, ruthless move from Zagar at this zone. Wolfenden now responding. Wolfenden back up the inside, terrific speedway. Zagar now again, back then up to back straight. Wolfenden just about hanging on out in front. Super lap of Speedway.
Great stuff from Ty Wolfenden. He had to turn the bike so early. He had to go right across the curve as they came into turn 1 on the second lap here, but he's got himself in front. Seems to have settled down. He can ride the track exactly where he wants now. He can make the bike work a little bit better for him. But Zagar, he came through like a steam train, didn't he?
Indeed. Really did bore a hole in the side of Ty Wolfenden as they entered the third corner. Wolfenden now settling down. This is more like it from the former champion. Out in front, looking good in that last corner. And he's going to pick up a very valuable 3 points, showing some real character there. Disappointing opening ride, failing to score. But Wolfenden bouncing back in fine style, came under pressure early on, kept his composure, and was able to come through in flying colours in the end. Zagar putting lots of pressure on him early on, but here we see it again.
Yeah, the action from the start. We can see Ty Wolfenden makes a very good start, stays on the inside. He's seen already that Robert Lambert makes some great traction, but Matty Zagar, he just takes the cutback up the inside now, coming into turn 3. Yeah, we do. And he straightens Ty up, sits him right up. Ty wasn't expecting that at all. He took no prisoners there, Matty Zagar, as he steams through the inside. You can see he's got the bike working, he's generated more speed than Ty. And just moves him out of the way.
That was tight. Was that a bit rude? Was that a little bit rude?
Rude? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm sure he rang his bell as he was coming through. Ding ding, out of the way. But no, it was fantastic stuff and some more great racing.
Yeah, proper Grand Prix.
This is where Ty had to turn really early to cross the concrete, and I thought he'd gone too far. I thought there's no way back from that. but he just keeps the bike going.
Yeah, he just about saved it and was able to get his nose back in front and picked up a valuable win after failing to score first time out. Respect between the two riders. Woofenden, that's more like it. He'll be pleased with that to get his first points of the night. 3 points for him. Zagar in second place, riding strongly. Anders Thompson, the first point for him after an exclusion first time out. And Jack Holder, unfortunately for him, fails to score for the second time this evening. So Jack with work to do. We're up at tapes now. Heat number 8. And the second outing for all these four. This is the last race in the second block. We've got Patrick Dudek in red going from gate number 1. Martin Veslick, gate 2 in blue. Neil Madsen in white in gate number 3. And we've got Maciej Janowski, who was hugely impressive in his first ride.
So impressive in his first
ride. Outside in the yellow helmet colour. Leon Madsen with Flew in gate number 3. Can he get the better of Janowski? But I don't know. I think if Janowski gets his nose in front here, Chris, he could be a very hard man to beat.
If he can get his handlebars just over the top of Leon Madsen, then I think he's got it made. But we know how Leon will push him. He'll push him hard. He'll push him all the way. It's going to be a race to the dirt line that's developed now.
Here it is. 3 marks from the centre up, and Martin Veslick makes a good start out of gate number 2. He hits that first corner, holds the inside. Here comes Maciej Janowski through the pack. Brilliant move from the Polish rider. Now he dives deep in the bottom corner. Out the outside, Martin Veslick in front. Janowski down the outside. Martin Veslick slams the door shot. Madsen up the inside, Janowski round the outside, here he comes! What a bit of magic from Maciej Janowski! Fabulous opening lap of Speedway from the Polish boy.
Janowski's so fast in both of his races so far, and he's just stretching it now. Leon Madsen now up the inside, great ride from him, but Janowski looking so impressive in his opening 2 rides. And once again he's got Greg Hancock back in his corner helping him today, and seems to be working for him.
Indeed it is, Janowski absolutely superb in the first half of this race. Now he's kicking on down the back straight for the last time. Madsen back in second place, but he has no answer for magic. Maciej Janowski back to back joins Lambert on 6 points. Terrific ride, ride of the night. I mean, crikey, he was just like a knife through butter as he came through that first turn. Brilliant stuff from Maciej Janowski. I would go as far as to say that was a proper bit of speedway there from Maciej Janowski.
Yeah, we see him from the start again now, and fairly even break actually. Martin Veslick hits the front to begin with, but Maciej Janowski, he's thinking so quick. He seems so well prepared today. Just watching him, how he's riding the bike, how he's reacting, and he's doing everything right, and he seems to have a lot of mechanical speed. That's not taking anything away from the way he's riding it. And Vachila there just putting a little bit more grip than he thought perhaps, but he shuts the door, slams the jaw and comes with Janowski.
Look at that! Where did he get that from?
So much speed generated around the outside of it. See again, there's just no room there, no room at all. Vachila even has to wait before he turns the bike. He has to put the old foot out there, get off the gas, and Janowski says, no, I'm coming through.
Top draw speedway there from Maciej Janowski. Terrific stuff from him. Really, once again, showing great speed. And that wonderful style he's got, and he really has started extremely well this evening. We do hope that he can keep it going. When he rides like that, you know, there really is breathtaking stuff from the Polish man. So Janowski, like Robert Lambert, he will top the table on 6 points, unbeaten after 2. And we haven't quite seen the result just yet, but I'm sure we will. But got to say that Janowski, certainly the rider of the night, along with Robert Lambert. Lambert's move on the inside also was very, very good indeed.
Yeah, the standout riders at the moment, Janowski and Robert Lambert, both looking fast.
So here we now see the results. We've got 3 points from Maciej Janowski. Leon Madsen picked up the 2. Martin Veslick on just a solitary point. And Patrick Dudek, he'll be disappointed to miss out this time. We see the standings, 2 boys on 6 points there with Janowski and Lambert. Jason Doyle moving nicely along on 5. Smarslik on 4. Leon Madsen there on 4 as well. But, some really good speedway we're witnessing now, that's for sure.
To jest najlepsze radio w sieci. Oj, chyba nie. To jest najlepsze radio w sieci.
No już kurwa, dywanie kupiłam bez, przywiozłam, miałam go w pokoju ze 3 tygodnie. Kupiłam sobie drugi, dałam jemu, bo mu się tak podoba. Kurwa, tak pojebany, tak popalony, że po prostu... Boże, jak można, tak kurwa, no ten człowieku. Ja się uleżam, że sobie... Wygrałam go w pralce, no, wygrał się, ale tak popalony jest, pochowałam tam. Dziura na dziurze, dziura. Bydło totalne, bo chuj to bierzesz człowieku, jak nie umiesz uszanować. Ktoś wydał pieniądze, dał ci, niech ci służy. I powiedziałam, nie kurwa, kurwa, lepiej do wózki, czy szłachą dać to. To nie kurwa, tylko Boże.
Points respectively, so looking good so far. Paweł Szypelski holding his own.
Yeah, took it to Swarzlik in his first one.
He did indeed, and he's amongst the points in both of his outings so far, so he'll be pleased with that. Anders Thompson on the outside. I've got to say, he's had a tough Grand Prix so far. It's been a difficult evening for the Danish boys so far, but can he turn it around here? He is up against it because he's got gate number 4, and with the quality of the riders on the inside of him, it's going to have to be something pretty special for Anders to really try and hit the front, but we know he's a real hard charger. Settling around, once again, plenty of gardening and digging going on after a freshly prepared track. Those ruts, as you were saying, Chris, they get filled in, don't they? And a lot of the boys like to clear that loose material away. So on the inside is Paweł Szypelski in red. That's Janowski in blue and gate number 2. Jason Doyle coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Anders Thompson on the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Jason Doyle's had a solid start to the evening, 5 points from his 2 rides.
Yeah, it's good that.
Yeah, very good. He's got the fastest man so far this evening on the inside of him, Janowski. We'll have to clamp him down if he can. I don't think there's an option to go out wide and look for the dirt after the freshly graded track right now.
No, I would suggest with them pulling the dirt back, they may well be hunting the inside on that first corner. And Jason Doyle is on the favoured gate number 3 this evening. What was it saying? What did you say about gate number 3? I can't quite remember. Remind me. Remind the punters.
On this particular night, it's the favourite gate 3.
Here we go. Boys settling down for heat number 9 then. All eyes on the green line. It's on now. Oh!
Jason Doyle.
Well, that is desperately disappointing for the Australian. I don't know if Anders Thompson moved on the outside of him. So that may have encouraged him to go, but Jason's going to be very, very upset. Here we see it again. And he's looking across. Oh no.
Yeah, it's just an anticipation. So easy to do.
Oh, such a shame when he's had such a good start.
Yeah.
To the Grand Prix, 5 points from 2 rides, really looking good on the bike, but that is a setback. But he's been there before, Chris. You know, he's going to have to just take a few deep breaths, and in his remaining 2 rides, he's going to have to. At least he's had a solid start.
He's had a solid start, so he's given himself a chance. You know, you do something like that after you've scored 1 or 2 points from your first 2 rides, and of course it's a different matter altogether. But no, he's still in with a shout.
Yeah. Disappointment for Jason Doyle. There we see it. And he won't be taking part in this, and he's got to wait patiently now for heat number 13. Frustration for the Australian. He'll go from gate number 4 and heat number 13. We wait now for Denis Vasakis from Hungary, the youngster, coming out. And we saw Nick Skorja earlier on, and Denis will be coming out, a youngster. I mean, this is a massive moment for young Denis Vasakis, isn't it? Because
biggest race of his life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here he is, number 18, making his way round to the start. Got to say that Janowski won't be sorry to see the back of Jason Doyle, will he? Because there's no question that could have been quite a tussle between those 2 boys.
It's opened up the first turn for him, gives him a little bit more time to think about what he's got to do. But I think he'll be more concerned about the rider on the inside of him, Szypelski, because he's a tough cookie. I don't think there'll be any love lost between those two in the first turn, so I think he will want to get over the top of him and get it down on the curve.
Absolutely right. Mine is back up at tapes for the second time of asking for heat number 9. And we've got a couple of these start inside gate for Pavel Shapelsky, gate number 2, blue Matvey Janowski. Then we've got Denis Vazakas coming out of gate number 3 in white. And on the outside, we've got Anders Thompson, who will also be looking to try and produce something here. Pavel Shapelsky actually just having some sort of issue with his bike here.
Oh yeah.
There's a paint. Oh,
that's a steel shoe issue, I think.
Yeah, that is panic stations. There's only 17 seconds left, and he's not under power. The bike has stopped.
I'm not sure he's going to make it.
I think he's
if he can get it started quick, he will. But he's got 8 seconds. Well, this is going to be tough for him.
This could be disastrous. This could be absolutely disastrous.
Oh no, it's not going to do it.
I think he has. I think the referee might just allow him to start. No exclusion lights on. That's desperate. Oh.
The thing is, Kelvin, when you've got a clock there, you've got to be absolutely to the second, because otherwise where do you draw the line?
Yeah, you're right, Chris, but God, you've got to feel we're down to 3 now, and we're going to have another reserve rider. No, we're going to have to wait for another reserve rider. Phil Morris at the pit gate, saying that we need to replace the excluded Pavel Shapelsky. You've got to feel for Shapelsky. An overload, a bit of a schoolboy error there, just leaving his steel shoe loose. He had to do the strap up, obviously late.
To be honest, on a track like this, I think I'd have taken the risk and thrown it away.
Yeah. Difficult call. There's going to be a lot of frustration in that camp. Oh, you've got to feel for it.
He must be thinking it's his lucky evening this evening.
Yeah. All of a sudden we've got now Nick Scorsia making his way round. So we've got 2 of the reserves coming out in heat number 9. I can't remember seeing that too often. Actually, a rider actually having a panic of doing his steel shoe up at the start line. As you rightly say, both of us, I'm sure, have done raced without steel shoes.
Yeah, it's the sort of track that it's not ideal, but you can get away with it.
Okay, alright, but I wonder if you go over and tell Pavel Shapelsky that. I think you may need to wait just a couple of moments before you suggest that.
And maybe you'll make a different decision next day.
There you go. Anyway, settling down, 3rd time of asking. Here we go. Matvey Janowski, the clear favourite, you've got to believe, coming out of the gate number 2 in the blue helmet colour. Takes that one away they go. And Janowski makes a superstar from that gate number 2, hits that first turn, and you've got to believe from there he's going to look very strong. But Anders Thompson coming on strong. He's got some speed generated from the outside, really looking threatening there. Round the outside, Janowski under massive pressure. Anders Thompson once again running wide. Janowski runs wide. Thompson's up the inside. Oh, that's tight, really tight.
The entry to that corner has been tight so many times tonight, but I think Janowski now realises that he's got to chase the dirt. It's still the fastest way round, but Thompson is able to generate speed when he's got that
looking up.
It's in a straight line here when he is going forward.
Really going good. Thompson really beginning to pile the pressure on Janowski. It's been so impressive. Janowski having to work much harder than possibly he thought he was going to have to with 2 exclusions before the tapes even went up. With the final corner, Janowski looking like he's going to remain unbeaten, with probably a sigh of relief there as he went over the line to move on to 9 points. He's into the semi-finals already after 3 outings. Terrific stuff for Matvey Janowski. Give a lot of credit to Anders Thompson there. That was a strong ride in 2nd place from Anders Thompson. And he made Matvey Janowski work really hard on that. And you've got to say that's encouraging from Thompson, who had a desperate start with a tapes exclusion in his opening ride. Good speedway race again.
Great speedway race, you know, with both the reserves having to come out, but these 2 up front, you can see it looks like it's going to be Janowski all the way, armchair speedway for him at this point. But Anders Thompson was just making the bike work. He had plenty of speed, and I've got to say there, bike again catching him out. Maybe just a little rut down there. We've seen a few riders do that. But at this point, I honestly think he's going to get up the inside of him. But Janowski riding so determined. He's not going to give up points easily here tonight. He's feeling very confident, and actually Anders Thompson, he's got himself in front there.
How tight was that? That really was close indeed. certainly looking very strong. And Janowski having to work overtime there to get the better of Anders Thompson, who really did.
He looks shocked there.
He really does. I don't think he was impressed. 3 points for Janowski. Strong ride from him. Anders Thompson very impressive in second place this time. Nick Skorja in third, and Dennis Fasakas out the back, but a big experience for the young Hungarian. His biggest moment in Speedway, I would suggest, so far. We're up at tapes, heat number 10. Not too much time to waste here, and a winner last time out, Ty Wuthenden going from gate number 3, and I tell you what, this is some line up here. Leon Madsen on the inside in red, Bartosz Smarslik in gate number 2 in blue. Gate 3 in white is Ty Wuthenden, and on the outside with a warning, Robert Lambert, of course, when he twitched on the start, you do get a warning. If he does that again, he moves at the start, he will be excluded.
That's what we saw Phil Morris, race director, telling him after that race.
Absolutely right, Chris, and that stays with him throughout the evening, so he will have to behave himself on the start. But Chris, this is a super lineup.
Mouth-watering race this in prospect. What can Robert Lambert do from the outside in this one? Riding very, very well.
Well, he's made some terrific moves on the inside on that first corner. If he can replicate something like that, who knows, he might well be able to get his nose in front. He's on 6 points.
3 half-decent riders on the inside of him.
There are indeed. Here we are, green lights on. Takes her up and away they go. Leon Madsen's made a good start on the inside. They fire into the first corner. Lambert! Brilliant move from Lambert. Dives on the inside. Madsen now responds as they roar into turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap. Madsen out wide, Wuthenden up the inside. Bartosz Smarslik also now beginning to move round the outside. Lambert settling in second place. Super ride from Madsen. Really fast out in front. Bartosz Smarslik now having to hassle his bike, coming through into third place. But Leon Madsen, brilliant stuff on the opening lap.
Cracking stuff. And Leon Madsen, once he gets some fresh air, there's no stopping him. He can be exceedingly quick, just catching the edge.
Oh, here comes Bartosz Smarslik.
Oh, he's got through the hole.
Indeed he is.
He's got the run here. He's sitting on the back of the seat as he enters the corner. Of course he's going to go
Lambert
past
back. Oh, what a move from Robert Lambert.
There he comes again.
Oh, Speedway, fabulous Speedway here in heat number 10. Super ride from Leon Madsen. Bartosz Smarslik just about hanging on for second place. What a fight for second and third that was. It's got people on their feet. Really fabulous action. Leon Madsen, very, very impressive in the early part of the race to get himself to the front. But all the fireworks were going on behind him. What a battle for second and place. And Bartosz Smarslik coming through.
That's what makes him a champion. Just from the start here, Leon Madsen looks like he's made a pretty good start, but then Bartosz Smarslik on the outside, and what a first turn from Robert Lambert, coming from gate 4 again, not making a good start, gives him plenty of time to think about what he's going to do, and he makes exactly the right move at the right time. But it all goes on after that. Leon Madsen just gets his wheels in line, and we know he's always got plenty of straight line speed, doesn't weigh too much, and he makes a determined move up the inside, but it's all going on behind him. And Bartosz Smarslik just works it for 4 laps entirely, does not give in, and that can make the difference. That's what can give you the gold medal at the end of the season. Each point he will take.
Yeah, he had to work very hard indeed, and we see them swapping places here for fun. Every corner, second and third, swapping. Madsen away.
Speed.
Oh, this is once again. But you're absolutely right, Chris. This guy just never knows when he's beat, does he? And every point, Ty Wuthenden, that's a shot from Wuthenden. Second 0 of the night.
Even when he's trying to break the bike and turn.
Madsen picks up the 3 points. Bartosz Smarslik 2. Robert Lambert 1, and Ty Wuthenden just missing out. And Ty, well, he'll be disappointed with 3 points from 3 outings. Really up against it to make the semi-finals tonight. We're back up at tapes, and it's heat number 11. On the inside is Martin Vasilek in red. Mikhail Nicholson in blue, gate number 2. Jack Holder in white, gate number 3. And Max Frick from Australia, he goes from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. And Martin Vasilek, well, again, got to say that all 4 riders here are looking for points. There's no question about that. They're finding points hard to come by.
Yeah, Mickelson made a great start to the night with 3 points, but then a last place.
Yeah, tough for him. Into the middle part of the qualifying heats for the semi-finals. Really do need to get amongst the big points now. Settling down, the green light is on. Oh, it takes a hell of a long time. time. Nicholson makes a really good start. Problems for Frick. Bike's packed up or some sort of issue away from the tapes. Down the back straight. Oh, here we go into the third corner. Gonna say Nicholson and Jack Holder really going at it with Martin Vasily back in third place. Got a feel for Frick, who's tailed off. But Nicholson now beginning to stamp his authority on the race. Jack Holder hanging on for second place, with Martin Vasily pushing hard in third.
Now Mickelson's made himself comfortably up front, just chasing the third. Jack Holder knows he's got a tiger on his tail in Martin Vasily. He actually had a little, oh, Jack's got plenty of grip now. Can Vigilik make, no, he can't take advantage of that. But Vigilik did have a little move at the start. Could have been called back, but it wasn't. Jack Holder still coming under immense pressure. But Mickelson comfortably out front.
Yeah, Mickelson out in front. He's got the race won. Just one more corner to go. This is a good result for Jack Holder, who's had a disappointing night so far. Picks up 2 points. Super ride for Mickelson. Really did. Once that first corner, he got away from there. He did show some good speed and pulled away. He'll be pleased with that. Martin Vasily back in third place. Disappointment for him, and whatever went on with Max Frick, just couldn't get away from the start. Some sort of mechanical issue. We'll see the start again. I can see what you mean. There was a little bit of movement.
Tiny little bit of movement, but referee decided to let it go, which was quite right because I think he disadvantaged himself anyway. But Jack Holder here, he makes the cut. We can see Mickelson. These bikes, they react so violently, you know, the mechanics make adjustments to them to get as much traction as possible. The riders make their adjustments as they're out there on the track, moving body weight around, working the throttle.
That's tight there, wasn't it?
That entry to turn 3 has been tight so many times tonight.
Crikey.
Just shows the calibre of these riders.
Pleased for Jack Holder, first points of the night.
Tell the nerves.
Yeah.
So he knows he's in the mix now, got some speed.
Good way to bounce back for Mickelson after failing to score last time. Moving on to 5 points. The result, Mickelson 3 points, Jack Holder 2. Good for him. Martin Vasily just a solitary points, and Max Frick, whatever happened on the start line, really put pay to his chances right from the get-go. So heat number 12 then. On up at tapes, and we have young Dan Bewley out here and Freddie Lingard, the wild card Matizega, Dudek, who was disappointing last time, quite possibly may have changed his equipment here, or certainly made some setup changes, and he'll be looking for much better on his return to the big time. Dudek, of course, a former world number 2. On the inside, Dan Bewley in red. In blue is Patrick Dudek. Freddie Lingard in white on gate number 3, and on the outside, Matizega.
Yeah, Zago was better last time out, had a good scrap with Ty Wolfenden.
He did indeed, and he'll be looking, I'm sure he's made some adjustments to his equipment. He'll be looking for a little bit more speed. He described it as the bike's got to be pulling your arms out, and that's a little bit more detuning going on to get some more grip.
But I don't think Dan Bewley will be too disappointed with the start he's made to this Grand Prix series. 3 points from 2 rides, but I think he's been worth a little bit more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, if he can get away sharply here, I would say that he can get himself very much amongst the points. Here we are. So settling down, heat number 12, the green light is on, the tapes are up, and away they go. Patrick Dudek's made a good start from gate number 2. He hits that first turn. Round the outside, Bewley's up the inside, pushing hard. Zagar's in there, but Freddie Lingard now charging round the outside. Patrick Dudek certainly looking good out in front. Here comes Freddie Lingard. Not quite there yet, but he's going to wind it on. Round turns 1 and 2 for the second time. Down the back straight, Patrick Dudek just about hanging on out in front. Freddie Lingard, here we go. Parking up, Lingard now hits the front. Brilliant ride from the Swedish boy.
It's going on everywhere in this race. Zagar got himself through now. Freddie Lingard seems to have got himself clear. And is this race going to settle down? Because we've had a couple of fantastic laps.
We have indeed. We go into the last lap now. Zagar now beginning to wind it on round the outside. Keep your eyes on Zagar. Zagar round the outside. Here he comes down the back straight. Brilliant effort from Matty Zagar to come through into second place. Out in front, Freddie Lingard. Freddie Lingard wins the race. Zagar, brilliant ride for 2 points. What a spectacular Speedway race that was. Fans are loving it. He's got a big contingent of fans here that have come across the border from Slovenia to follow their man here this evening. But that man, again, that's a strong ride from Freddie Lingard, and sensational action for second place.
Where do you start with this one?
Superb Speedway once again in heat number 12.
Patrick Dudek makes the start. Looks like he's got it all his own way here. We can see now Zagar at this point, he looks done with really for this race. He's out at the back, but this race never settles down. We've got Frederick Lingard working so hard around the outside of Patrick Dudek, and he was getting wider and wider and wider, not quite as wide as Zagar, but it just shows the track's working out there. It's a long way to go, but the dirt is built up enough now to take advantage of. An absolutely stunning race with it happening, well, front, back and middle.
Oh yeah, you couldn't take your eyes off it. It was breathtaking stuff, and that was an important ride for Freddie.
Yeah, he needed that.
Because he had 3 points from 2 outings, and with that win he moves on to 6 points with 2 rides left before the semi-finals, and that gives him a very good chance. Dudek there working hard, but he just couldn't resist that move around the outside from Lingard. He had to have eyes in the back of his head there, Dudek.
And a great ride from Zagar too.
Oh, that move round turns 1 and 2 was top draw stuff once again. Really put it on the line. And the banking that they've introduced in that first corner, clearly working.
It is.
Big dividends there for Zagar. Bit of a debrief there. And Freddie Lingard clearly delighted with that 3 points to him. Zagar was outstanding for 2 points. Second, Patrick Dudek probably can't believe that he didn't win the race. He only picks up 1. And Dan Bewley, well, welcome to Grand Prix. That really was quite a dramatic.
I didn't know where they were coming from.
Matt Sajanovsky leads the championship on 9 points this evening. Robert Lambert on 7. Leon Madsen on 7. Mikhail Nicholson on 6, along with Schmarsdick and Lingard. And then we've got Jason Doyle on 5. Good stuff so far.
To jest najlepsze radio w sieci. Oj, chyba nie. To jest najlepsze radio w sieci.
great stuff so far. I've got to say, just reflecting on the first 3 blocks of races after heat number 12, it really has been terrifically exciting. I've got to pay tribute to the Pavlik's family here, because whatever they've done to the track, it's working a treat. Previously, 10 years ago, this track was very unpredictable and we saw riders going all sorts of directions, but tonight we're just seeing genuine, pure Grand Prix Speedway out there, and great racing, riders being able to trust the track to ride that close, and that's what it's about. You give these boys the surface to race on, and then you're going to be royally entertained.
Absolutely, and these guys clearly feel confident to go out there and race on this surface. They've obviously been told what's been lacking in the track in previous years. They've listened to that advice, taken it on board, and as you say, they've changed the surface slightly. They've added some banking, certainly coming out of turns 2.
Yeah,
and I think that has made a big difference to the racing.
Yeah, we saw that clearly demonstrated by Matti Zago earlier on, when he was able to rip round the outside there. Very, very nice move from him. Everybody's almost like a party atmosphere now, the sound system blaring out. Terrific atmosphere in the stadium. We are going to hear from Jack Holder very shortly down in the pits with Scott. He's just getting themselves organised, but no, I have to believe that there's no question that, well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to hear from Jack Holder. He's quite clearly not ready to talk to us. Jason Doyle, I tell you what,
pressure.
That looks like that may have changed the bike, maybe, but there's no question after touching the tapes last time, this is a big race for Jason Doyle after a terrific start. He's up against 2 riders here, and Zagar and Leon Madsen. Particularly Madsen was very impressive last time out, winning in fine style. So Jason Doyle, former world champion, going to have to show his mettle here as they come up to the tapes for heat number 13. It really is getting to the point of the night now where, if you're struggling for points, you've really got 2 rides left, and to turn your night around, you still can do it. But to make that top 8, you're still looking as a minimum 8 points, really, to be absolutely comfortably through.
Jason's got to score points in this race just to take that pressure off, because 8's not even a guarantee.
No, exactly right. He's in 7th at the moment on 5 after 3 outings. And you've got to say that this is an opportunity. On the inside, Matti Zagar on the red helmet colour. Leon Madsen in blue going out of gate number 2. Max Frick coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Jason Doyle from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. What can the Australian produce from there? Max Frick just did a couple of practice starts. Quite clearly they had some gremlins in the machinery last time when it coughed and spluttered away from the start. He'll be hoping that they have fixed those problems right now. But Zagar on the inside, still hungry for points, wants to make the semi-final, wants to go right to the final tonight. And Leon Madsen, beware the sick Speedway rider, because crikey, he showed some real speed last time out. Settling down. Green lights on and away they go. Zagar makes a great start from the inside. Hits that first turn. Oh, just charges up the inside. Brilliant move from the Australian. Zagar's out in front. Round that first turn. Oh, here comes Frick now into the action. Brilliant Speedway on the opening lap, Chris.
Yeah, you just can't afford, when they've had a track grade, it's really, really difficult. You can't really get off that curve. And if you leave the slightest hole, we've got Leon Madsen now trying to work the outside. Jason Doyle looks like he's going to cover that, with Madsen making another cutback, and he's not going to give here as they enter the corner. Doyle can now grip around the outside. Maybe it's going to get tight.
Very tight down the back straight. Doyle and Madsen battling for a solitary point. Super ride out in front from Matti Zagar. They're into the last lap. Zagar still hanging on there. Look at Doyle up the inside once again, throwing the bike at each other. Madsen responding into the last corner. You can't take your eyes off the Speedway tonight. Zagar coming through in fine style. Terrific ride from him. But what a battle just for 1 point back in 3rd place. My goodness gracious me. You can't take your eyes off the action this evening.
Cracking stuff, absolutely cracking stuff. Matti Zagar has found, he's found that winning feeling again, and he's making a lot of fans that have travelled here very, very happy. Great start from him, makes the bike well. Jason Doyle again, very close to crossing the line with his rear wheel, but he didn't do that. And well, again, you know, riders just constantly making the cutback, getting their wheels in line quicker than the opposition who's roared up the inside on the previous corner. So much of it, there's not a lot of room. Not a lot of room.
I tell you what, he was brave there, wasn't he, Jason? Diving in there. Got to give Matti Zagar a lot of credit. Here comes Frick.
You can see Jason there after going up the inside, trying to put the brakes on. He doesn't want to run across the corner, but he just can't stop the bike.
No, the momentum took him just a fraction too wide, and Frick was ready to pounce. Grand Prix Speedway, you can ill afford to be even half a yard off the racing line, and we saw it demonstrated there. Madsen and Doyle working so hard out the back. This is a terrific battle just for 1 point, with Madsen at this stage hanging on to that position. Jason Doyle in the thick of the action throughout the 4 laps. Delight for Zagar. Clearly, absolutely, and that turns his night around.
It does. Gives him a great chance now.
And all of a sudden, with one more qualifying race to go, he's got a good chance at the semi-final. 3 points for Zagar. Max Frick, a good ride from him, 2 points for him. Leon Madsen, the 1 point, and disappointment for Jason Doyle. That exclusion, and then following it up with a 0. Crikey, he is under great danger of missing the semi-finals this evening. Here we are, back up at tapes. And we have got heat number 14 here. On the inside, in red helmet cover, is Robert Lambert. In gate number 2, in blue, is Dan Bewley. Martin Vasilik coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Anders Thompson, who was very impressive. He's on a warning. But crikey, he really did give Maciej Janowski something to think about in his previous ride, and rode very well indeed. He goes from the outside in yellow.
Points for Robert Lambert here could really take the pressure off, sitting on 7 points at the moment.
Here we go, the tapes are up and they charge towards the first corner. It's Bewley. Bewley makes a superstar out of gate number 2. Down the back straight they go. And he's managed to hang on there. That's a good effort from the youngster. Out in front, hits the dirt. Bewley's a fast rider. I expect him to stay there if he can. Martin Vasilik working hard in second place. Around the outside, Anders Thompson getting in the action, coming through into third. Now he's diving into turn 3. Once again using the dirt on the outside. Lambert now relegated to the back.
Yeah, Lambert desperately needs to grab something out of this race, take a little bit of the pressure off. 1 ride to go, 7 points. The pressure will be on, but Dan Bewley coming right out front.
Yeah, Anders Thompson really working overtime. Coming through now into second place. Keep your eyes on the Danish rider. Can he get himself to the front? Bewley riding nicely, but Anders Thompson's got an awful lot of speed. 1 more corner to go. Bewley's ridden really, really well here. And he's...
Oh, it doesn't hang on.
Oh, what a ride from Anders Thompson out of nowhere.
I think he took
comes through and possibly steals the win on the run to the line. Brilliant ride, absolutely sensational Speedway again. Robert Lambert missing out, that's a shame for him.
It is.
Bewley will be disappointed there. He'd done all the hard yards in the first part of the race. Here we see it again, Chris.
The finish. It was very close, but I'm pretty sure it's Thompson that takes this one.
It's tight, it's tight, but Anders Thompson's got the run. Oh, I wouldn't like to say.
No, that's not my job. Well, here we are hearing that it's Anders Thompson who takes that one. I think he does, but there's very, very little in it.
What a ride from Anders Thompson.
Yeah,
he was nowhere on the first lap. Dan Bewley looked like he had it all under control, so that was a terrific effort from him.
Yeah, Dan Bewley was riding a little bit tighter than the rest of them, and I can hear the bike even from here revving quite hard. Maybe he just cooked the tyre a little bit, because they certainly reeled him in after the first couple.
Smashing ride from Thompson, picks up a valuable 3 points. Dan Bewley on 2, Martin Vasilik back in 3rd, he picks up the solitary point. And Robert Lambert, after a terrific start tonight, has just got 1 point from his last 2 outings. And he's got a hugely important last race coming up if he wants to maintain and give himself an opportunity for the semi-finals. Still got 7, but he'll want more than that. 1 or 2 points in his last outing. Here we go. Heat number 15 now, they're up at tapes. And on the inside we've got the unbeaten Maciej Janowski going out of gate number 1 in red. Gate 2, Jack Holder, 2nd place last time. 6 points for Frederick Lingard out of gate number 3 in white. And off the outside this time is the one and only Bartosz Szmalzlik. So here we go, and we've got the heartbeats there.
They're raising.
Maciej Janowski, 175 beats per minute. I'm not sure I could cope with that. I'm sure that's
on the rev limit.
I think I might be a bit too delicate for that sort of heart rate, but you can see that there may well be a spike when that green light comes on.
Oh, yes.
Great touch that. Janowski though, 9 points. He shouldn't be too concerned because he's already in the semi-final, but he'll want to keep pushing on.
What are you going for here? Inside or outside, or is someone crashing this by?
Oh my goodness gracious me! You can't predict it, can you? Janowski unbeaten. Bartosz Smarzlik on the outside. The green light is on. Oh my goodness gracious me! Yeah, the red light's come on, and I'm no surprise. Clearly something was wrong with the tapes there. There was an extraordinary long delay, and
it's an automated system that seemed to have a bit of an issue.
Yeah, a few gremlins there, and not a surprise, so it may well be a small delay here. These four riders did very well, actually, not to roll into the tapes there with such a long pause.
Yeah, and I sensed that they were beginning to back off, actually, just before the tapes went up, which I don't blame them. These engines don't like to be sat not under load, revving quite that hard for that period of time.
Unsatisfactory start, and Jesper Steentoft putting the red lights on fairly quickly.
I think there'll be not only coolers on the clutches as usual, I think there'll be coolers on the engines after that one.
Right. We've got 1 minute to go with Phil Morris, the race director, just informing all four riders at the pit gate that they've got 1 minute to go, or less than that now, to make their way round to the start line. Clearly the referee is satisfied that any gremlins they had there have now been resolved. And yes, this is a very interesting race indeed. We've got the unbeaten Maciej Janowski on the inside gate. We've got Bartosz Smarzlik, who is battling hard for points. He is on 6 points on 3 outings, so he's got work to do. And Freddie Lingard, got to say, Freddie Lingard on gate number 3 on 6 points, rode very well in his last race, so this is a very, very competitive race once again.
Absolutely.
There's no question that no quarter will be given. That's for sure.
Be asked, I don't think.
No, exactly right. So settling down, the second time of asking. Heat number 15. Here we go. The green light is on and the tapes are on. They roar to that first corner. Janowski hits the first turn.
England's going to get it right.
Holder up the inside there. Oh my goodness gracious me! Bartosz Smarzlik comes from nowhere, fires himself to the front. Fantastic move on the two-time former world champion, world number 2, sensational move. And guess what? You've got to say that really was a stunning move, and that's going to revolutionise tonight. Maciej Janowski back in second place. Holder now relegated to third with Freddie Lingard at the back. But what a move from Bartosz Smarzlik.
Unbelievable. Jack Holder must be wondering, what has he got to do to stay in front? That move from Bartosz, I didn't even see it coming. Couldn't call that. And the next thing, within a few seconds, he's in front.
He was indeed. It was a stunning move from the former world champion down the back straight for the last time. Janowski comfortably in second place. An outstanding ride from Bartosz Smarzlik, and he moves on to 9 points. He's in the semi-finals now. You can never rule him out. Freddie Lingard at the back. Maciej Janowski drops his first points of the night. He won't be too concerned. He'll move on to 11. That's a very good score indeed. But breathtaking moves from Bartosz Smarzlik there. Jack Holder thinking, crikey, this World Championship Speedway, it's tough. Really tough.
From the start, we can see there, Janowski thinks he's got this one sewn up. He's made a great start. Jack Holder now with the cutback. He's got fresh air. And you're thinking, he can't be fast. But Smarzlik, he just, look at him go through the traffic. He's in last place. And he just goes between Lingard and Janowski, and then outside Jack Holder. He's not happy with the squeeze between the two.
Mirror signal manoeuvre, wasn't it? It really was. Fabulous move there from Bartosz Smarzlik, roaring through the traffic. Got to say, that really did have us on the edge of our seats. That sight, that eye-catching style of his, terrific respect between the two riders, of course there is, but...
I'd like to know what the heart rate monitor peaked at that point.
Oh, yeah, somewhere near 300 beats per minute, I think. 3 points for Smarslick, fully deserved. Matej Janowski satisfied with 2. Holder can't believe he wasn't amongst the big points. He picks up just the 1. And Freddie Lingard, it's a bit of a shock there, just picking up, failing to score rather, and he's got work to do with 1 ride to go. Heat 16, they're up at tapes. Work to be done for all these riders, particularly Ty Woofenden. Hasn't been his night. Just 3 points to his name so far. And if he's going to make the semi-finals, I would suggest he's going to have to win his last 2 outings. On the inside, Mikhail Nicholson in red. Gate number 2 is Pavel Shapelsky in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Patrick Dudek. And going from the outside, this is crunch time for Ty Woofenden.
Yeah, needs a win.
Indeed he does. And we've seen him respond early on when he ran a last. He then bounced back with a win. Needs to do it again now. Time running out. And the pressure is certainly on. He would have expected more than 3 points from 3 outings, that's for sure. So Woofenden, Mikhail Nicholson was very impressive last time as well. He's on the inside. Here we go. Settling down, green light is on. Tapes are up and away they go. Nicholson on the inside has made a good start. Really good start. He hits that first corner. He hits the front. Dudek's around the outside. Down the back straight. He comes to second. Coming to second place. Woofenden up the inside into third. But Nicholson looks strong in front. Dudek now riding well. Very well. Finding some speed. Round the outside for the Polish man. Square in the corner off. Wheels in line. Down the inside. Oh no, can't quite get there.
Yeah, he pulled out of that one the very last minute, but Nicholson now has gone so wide. Dudek's through. He worked for that one, but is Nicholson going to make the cut back? I think he could have the straight line speed. Oh, it's going to get close now. He's back out of that one, and now we can see Woofenden at the back coming through again.
Yeah, Pavel Shapelsky got the better of the 3-time world champion. What action we've got out in front though. We can't take our eyes off it. We don't quite know where to look. No. Terrific action for Dudek. Disappointing last time. He's ridden superbly well here. Down through the last corner. He's got the 3 points in the bag. Looks like Nicholson's really made him work hard. Dudek picks up the 3 points. Great ride from Nicholson also in second place. And it just isn't Ty Woofenden's night. Just the solitary point when he really did need to pick up a win. But Patrick Dudek, that's a great turnaround in his form tonight. Suddenly out of nowhere he produces a really good ride. And
giving himself an outside chance.
So that's what winning, but you've got to say that just the 1.4 points for the Ty Woofenden.
Once again, where do you start with trying to call this race?
Well, that's your job. That's your job,
I know, but they're coming from every direction, front, back, everywhere. And Dudek at that point, when they hit the first turn, he's actually stone last, but he makes a brave decision to run right round the fence. And on the first lap, just about secures himself second place, and then takes charge after Nicholson, who looks like he's going to set himself out front comfortable. He looks quick in a couple of races when he's been out front and won a couple of races already tonight. But Dudek just keeps charging and charging and charging until the job's done.
Yeah, good ride from Patrick Dudek there. Terrific scrap for just the solitary point with Woofenden finally coming through.
My leg was only ever up that high or out of the footrest when I was crashing.
Yes, and that is a modern day phenomenon that I just don't understand at all, because I tried it once a few years ago and just frightened the life out of myself. I thought, no, that's not for me. But Patrick Dudek, he's pleased with that. A bounce back to form, as you rightly say. An opportunity now for the semi-finals. 3 points for Dudek, 2 points for Nicholson, 1 for Woofenden, and Pavel Shapelsky misses out this time. We have now just 1 block of races to come. We see the standings, 11 points for Janowski. Smarslick now forces his way on to 9. Nicholson on 8. Zagar on 8. Leon Maxson on 8. Terrific stuff. Lambert probably needs another couple of points to be absolutely certain. He's back on 7. Big riders outside the top at 8 already as well. But Janowski leads away at the top on 11.
To jest najlepsze radio w sieci. Oj, chyba nie. To jest najlepsze radio w sieci.
Thompson Andrews, a tough start to the night, touching the tapes. Did you do we're so used to counting the referee, did you forget that we're on the computer system?
Actually, I didn't forget it. You know, I was just faster than the new system. Yeah, I was really ready, but now I'm disappointed, you know. I'm one heat behind with the setup, but I keep focused and see what we can do.
You've turned it around, you're exceptionally fast, you got a lot of speed. Your last race there, fantastic race, so much speed. So have you made many changes over the winter? Obviously you had your first full season in the Grand Prix last year, kind of find your feet a little bit. Have you made many changes in the off season?
Yeah, I did. You know, now I had one full season in the Grand Prix, and I know what to do now. So I have all winter to prepare my season, and I think I've prepared well. So pretty decent start for the season. Anyway, I get a good setup in the moment on the bike, so we keep focused for the next couple of heats.
Yeah, do you think you're going to have to make many more changes, or does the track seem like it's settled down? Do you feel like you've got the setup to see you through to the end now?
Yeah, for sure. The last week I've been working really hard to find the last small changes and the last small things. But I think I have the setup now, and now I just need to make the starts and make more detail.
Well, so make the starts. Good luck for the rest of the night, and hope you make through the semis.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's been a really good effort from Anders Thompson. He's got to be patient. He's got to wait until heat number 20, where he'll go from the gate number 3. And a big result there, may just see him squeak through. He's in 7th as we go into the last block of races.
I do know over the last week or so he's been testing a couple of new engines. He wasn't totally satisfied with the speed that he had, and seems to be working for him.
Well, after that, certainly after the drama of the first race, he has shown very good resolve to come through, to give himself an outside chance. We'll see the overall standings once again. Janowski looking good on 11, leads the way. Swarzlik coming through on 9, 3 of them on 8 points. And then the standings vanished in front of us, but there's no question that 7 points for Robert Lambert, back in 6th, needs points out of his last ride. I would say down from Robert Lambert, all of them are under big pressure going into this last round of races. It's so competitive.
Right down to Dan Bewley. All those guys can qualify.
Exactly right. So plenty to race for in the upcoming 4 heats to determine the top 8 of the night and the 2 semi-finals. Riders appearing back out on track. Freddie Lingard disappointing last time. He's in the yellow helmet colour here. Failed to score after looking so strong in the previous race. He's on 6 points coming into this race. A win would probably see him through. Ty Wolfenden has had a desperately disappointing night, and they will be looking to salvage something out of this last ride. A semi-final looks beyond him, even with a win. That will only take him on to 7 points. So I don't quite know where it's gone wrong, but I'm sure there'll be a debrief. But for Ty, fortunately, a poor round like this, at least there's another 9 rounds to go to try and get himself back in the championship chase. So he'll want to finish with a rattle. And Jason Doyle, who night again started well, all of a sudden with the exclusion and failing to score, really...
still got a chance. It's about Jason Doyle and Frederick Lingard in this one.
They both need to win the race, really, I would say. They just got to focus on that. And with Doyle on the inside, well, there is a possibility of that. So, on the inside in red is Jason Doyle. Gate 2 in blue is Martin Vasilek. Gate 3 in white is Ty Wolfenden. And going from the outside is fast Freddie Lingard in the yellow helmet colour. Massive pressure on gates 1
and 4.
And 4, no doubt about that. Martin Vasilek has tried awfully hard, but points have been very hard come by.
What's the dynamics in the first turn? We've just had a track grade. Frederick Lingard, he does like a big run around the outside, but will there be enough there for him? Will he take the risk and look for a cutback? But of course, sometimes there's traffic in the way when you.
What are your thoughts?
When you do that?
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think Jason Doyle was going to be looking to creep around the inside. I don't see him moving over, but he's a tough racer, so you're never quite sure what he's going to do.
Settling down. Heat number 17, the green light is on. Tapes are up. Away they go. Doyle has made a poor start. Got to say, Wolfenden and Vasilek. Vasilek hits the front. That's a surprise, but once again, Doyle, after a dreadful start, has managed to work his way through into 2nd place. Freddie Lingard in 3rd, and Ty Wolfenden, once again, his woes continue. He finds himself out the back. Martin Vasilek out in front.
Goes Ty up the inside.
Yeah, good move from Wolfenden.
Forced his way through, but he's not done yet. Frederick Lingard's coming back at him. He's hanging on. Don't think this is going to be enough for Frederick Lingard or Jason Doyle.
That's a disappointment for them. Martin Vasilek, a spoiler out in front after a terrific start. Doyle is working overtime. Doyle, has he got anything left? There's a lap and a half to go. Martin Vasilek's out in front. Jason Doyle looking for the 3 points. It's only the 3 points that matter for Jason Doyle. Martin Vasilek responds. He's got a bit of breathing space. Down that back straight. Looks like it's going to end in disappointment for Freddie Lingard and Jason Doyle here in heat number 17. Vasilek wins. Good ride from him. Wish the meeting could start again for Martin Vasilek. Disappointment for once again for Wolfenden, just not his night. A night to forget for the former champion. Freddie Lingard also going out with a bit of a whimper tonight, got to say that, after looking so strong earlier on. But Martin Vasilek, well, that was a very good ride from him.
Yeah, from the start, again, Jason Doyle's clutch seems to be banging in a little bit too hard. Bike lifts, doesn't go forward, and Sgp out front. And at this point, we can see the two riders that need the points in the middle of the pack here as Freddie Lingard manages to get past Ty Wolfen on the back straight, but as we saw, Ty battles through on the inside. I think we're seeing the move here. It's most of the bike over the curb. We've seen that move a few times tonight. Gets himself ahead of Freddie, and not enough for Jason Doyle or Frederick Lingard in that one.
No disappointment for those. And Martin Bashlik also had a disappointing night. Finishes with a consolation win at the end of the night, but unfortunately for Martin, he will take no further part. He will miss out on the semi-finals, finishing on 6 points. That won't be enough for the top 8 this evening. He'll be frustrated because a ride like that at the end of the night, you'll be thinking, crikey, why couldn't I find the key to the speed earlier on? You can see the frustration there. 3 points for Bashlik, 2 for Doyle, Wolfenden in third on 1, and Freddie Lingard also some big hitters here that quite possibly are going to miss out on the semi-finals. Lingard and Wolfenden certainly going to miss out. Jason Doyle, he's in 7th at the moment, but could quite probably be overhauled. He's on 7. That is a very vulnerable position to be in. Right, heat number 18. They're up at tapes. And Mikhail Nicholson looks like he's the man on the inside. He's on the inside in red. Robert Lambert needing points. He's in gate number 2 in blue. Matty Zagar looking good now in gate number 3 in white. And Maciej Janowski on 11 points, leading the Grand Prix at this stage. He goes from gate number 4 in the yellow.
Nicholson, Robert Lambert, Matty Zagar, they all need something out of this race.
They do indeed. This really is tense stuff. See the heart rates, 180 beats per minute for Janowski.
Calm down.
And yeah, just a couple of deep breaths, please, just to get yourself under control. But certainly Janowski has looked good. Zagar looked very impressive last time. Settling down. Green light is on pause. Away they go. Zagar's made a fabulous start out of gate number 3. Hits that first turn up the inside though. Yeah, here we go. Janowski around the outside. Fantastic move. Superb speed from him. Mikhail Nicholson's out in front though. He made that move, that dynamic move up the inside. Into the second lap. Mikhail Nicholson. Now can he come under pressure down the back straight from Janowski? No, it's Zagar. They're coming at him. Left and right. Janowski around the outside. He's hungry for more points. Now Nicholson moves out. Janowski gone very wide. Mikhail Nicholson. Oh my goodness, on the back wheel, out of control. Fabulous Speedway again.
Nicholson's like a roadblock. I think Janowski's got him beat here. Oh, it was tight again going in turn 3. But Janowski's got so much speed. Nicholson's coming back.
Nicholson coming back into the picture. Fantastic Speedway once again. Janowski won't be leaving it there. Down the back straight for the last time. What a Speedway race we're witnessing once again. Mikhail Nicholson just about going to hang on. Fabulous Speedway. Robert Lambert missing out. That is desperately disappointing for the British rider after such a strong start. Mikhail Nicholson and Maciej Janowski look putting on a fabulous show for everybody, royally entertaining us all. And Mikhail Nicholson coming through in flying colours. Terrific Speedway once again in heat number 18.
Cracking stuff from the start there, rider in white. Matty Zagar makes a good start, but Janowski just got so much speed. He rides right around the berm, on the fence. He'd done that at least 3 times in this race. He took the maximum traction he could get. It's a brave move. You're just inches away from the fence. Generated so much speed on the back straight. But Nicholson battled hard around the inside. He stuck to his guns, trying to make the bike work on the slick stuff. But Janowski again, look how wide he is. Right out on the berm, not quite so wide that time. And just keeps generating the speed.
They trust this track. They really are going it. They're putting on a fine show for us all. A wonderful opening event for Discovery Sports events. There's no question about that. We have been treated to some special Speedway so far this evening, and the big races are yet to come, Chris. Mikhail Nicholson delighted. He picks up 3 points. He's through to the semi-finals, no question about that. 2 for Janowski. Maciej Zagar. Got to say, that's a great effort from him. After a slow start tonight, he really has turned his fortune around. He's on 9, and he will be in the semi-finals, that's for sure. Robert Lambert's in 6th on 7, but he may be overhauled. But you've got to say, got to say Anders Thompson might be somebody who overhauls him, but 7 in 6 places at the moment. He's vulnerable. Let's put it that way. He's very vulnerable there with 2 races to come. Heat number 19 coming up now, and we've got young Jack Holder up at tapes. He's got the inside gate. He goes out of gate number 1 in red. Gate 2 in blue is Leon Madsen. And we've got Dan Bewley, who was pretty impressive last time, going out of gate number 3 in white. And on the outside, Pavel Shapelski. And
Dan Bewley could still be in with a shout here.
Yeah, good start from him. Shapelski, of course, with that frustrating problem with his steel shoe. Green light is on, away they go. Leon Madsen's made a absolute beauty out of gate number 2. He hits the front, down the back straight he goes. Jack Holder through into second place out of gate number 1. Battling hard there in 3rd and 4th. Pavel Shapelski, it's getting awfully tight with Dan Bewley now relegated to the back. Wasn't much racing room there at all. Leon Madsen though, all the time once again, the fireworks are going off behind him. The Danish man is out in front and it's looking really good. Complaining about his health, Chris, but crikey, he's riding well this evening.
He is, yeah, he's suffering from flu. He doesn't have a lot of energy, but we've seen how fast he is when he gets himself out front. Dan Bewley learning the hard way just how tough Grand Prix Speedway is, but he's acquitted himself very well. Unfortunately, at the back in this one, Jack Holder picking up another couple of points. That'll do his confidence the world of it.
Leon Madsen down the back straight. He's looking good. He had the speed very tight. Shapelski goes down. And the race completes. Let's keep our fingers crossed that Pavel Shapelski is okay.
Yeah, he got some speed up the inside and just had to back out of it.
Yeah, just got himself in all sorts of trouble going into turn 3 on the final lap. The race has been completed. Dan Bewley picking up an extra point, but won't be enough to see him through to the semi-finals. But Leon Madsen on 11 points. That's a good return from Leon. Showed some real determination. Pavel Shapelski sat up. I fancy he'll be okay. May just have winded himself a little bit when he bumped on the track. Going fast there.
Yeah, very fast.
Back into the straight. Leon Madsen, though, that was a great start from him. He flew out of gate number 2. And really and truthfully, he didn't have too much pressure. He had the speed, had the composure, and won in fine style.
Dan Bewley was the one that reacted very well in that race from the start. He just didn't make the bike go forward at all. Look at the start here in white. Dan Bewley makes a great reaction, but he just doesn't go forward at all. Leon Madsen, on the other hand, just makes the bike work all the way to the corner. And you have to think at this point, with the speed that he's showing when he's out front, that no one's going to come back at him. Jack Holder, much better race from him. And as I said, I think that'll settle his nerves and his confidence going into the next round. But Shapelski, it was, I believe that's the first faller this evening, actually.
It was indeed, you're right. We haven't seen that. There we saw some pretty tight action between the 2 substitute riders coming in. Jack Holder and Dan Bewley. Pavel Shapelski now dive bombing an opportunity move there.
Big move up the inside, and that's ultimately what he did in the end. Yeah, he scrubbed up. I think he's just got his front wheel down
the inside curve. Front tyre just washed out on the inside curve. And,
concrete curves can do that. When you're able to get your front wheel over, you can just lose traction. There's not a lot to the front tyre. We see it at Kings Lynn. Occasionally, that's a concrete curve.
Absolutely. So Leon Madsen nicely through to the semi-final. He is on 11 points. He wins. He gets the 3 points. Jack Holder in second place after a disappointing start. He's picked up some valuable points later on. Dan Bewley, the solitary point, and Pavel Shapelski just missing out. And there we see the standings. Janowski on 13, Nicholson on 11, Madsen on 11, Schnarzek on 9. And Pavel Shapelski, good to see him up and about.
Good to see him walking back.
Clearly frustrated. Pride hurt more than anything else after that fall late on. But he'll be disappointed. He's only scored 3 points this evening. So once again, Grand Prix Speedway really is a tough arena to be in. Right. Up to the last qualifying race now, heat number 20, and still plenty to race for here. This could go either way. I tell you what, all of a sudden riders on 7, they may just have a little bit of hope.
Outside chance.
So they may well have a, because in truth, in 8th place Can't see Martin, Vasilek, Lingard. I'll tell you what, I think they may well get through on 7 points, Chris.
They could well do.
Because it's looking good. Looking good because Thompson is in 8th on 6. Yep. Which is quite remarkable. Here we see on the inside, Bartosz Marslik in red, Max Frick in gate number 2 in blue. Anders Thompson, who really has turned his fortunes around in fine style, will go out of gate number 3 in white. And on the outside, who was impressive last time, is Patrick Dudek. Patrick Dudek in 12th. And 5, maybe a win here could see him into the semi-final. So
he's got a chance.
Plenty to race for here.
Anders Thompson started with that exclusion and he's got better and better. He got a 3rd, a 2nd and a win.
Yeah, terrific form and speed. He said he was a race behind when he was chatting to Scott down in the pits, but I tell you what, he might just be able to get himself back in the top 8. He's in 8th as it stands, and you've got to believe that he has a very good chance of making the semi-finals tonight. Here we go. Bartosz Marslik on the inside. Long pause. Misses the start. Misses the start completely. Into the first corner, it's Max Frick. No question about that. Down the back straight. Super stuff from the Australian. Now Anders Thompson. Thompson absolutely riding out of his skin once again. Superb stuff from the Danish forward. Now Bartosz Marslik, after a poor start, comes through into the thick of the action into 2nd place. Real good stuff. Max Frick back. Oh, well, we spoke too soon. We spoke too soon. Marslik, after a poor start, fires himself to the front. Absolutely on fire. You've got to believe that 2 points for Thompson is still going to be enough, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be enough, I think. It's Marslik, not quite as exciting as last time, but he's just biding his time and just taking one at a time. Unbelievable the way he goes about his business and works for it. And Anders Thompson, as you rightly say, looks like it's going to be enough.
Brilliant stuff from Thompson. Superb ride once again from Bartosz Marslik. You wouldn't put it past him winning here this evening. He really has turned his form around. Back-to-back wins and heats. His 4th and 5th rides. He moves nicely on now. He's got, he came into the last race. He moves on to 12 points. That's looking good for the 2 Polish riders actually leading the way, and Janowski and Bartosz Marslik. Once again, a stunning move mid-race to see, but he made a poor start there.
He did, by his high standards, it was a poor start, but Max Frick, don't take it away from him, he made a great one. And this is where Anders Thompson hits the front, that brave move up the inside. I've seen it so many times tonight. It's sort of an old Thomas Gollard move, that, just coming from the fence, straight lining it up the inside. We used to see that from Thomas quite a bit. And there's Max just picking up. Maybe that cost him, just getting a little bit too much traction as he leaves the first turn there. And there's Thompson up the inside. But Marslik, you've just got to hear he's in 3rd place. But he just works it out slowly. He doesn't panic. Unlike the previous race when he just went past everybody on the back straight first lap.
Well, it's looking like the riders on 7 points are going to make it tonight. We will wait for the FIM to confirm the placings in the top 8. Fabulous stuff from Bartosz Marslik. He's comfortably through on 12 points after his 5 outings. Just had a couple of slip-ups where he found it a little bit tougher going, but the last 2 rides where he's come through the traffic have just been absolutely stunning. So 3 points for Bartosz. He'll be really pleased with that. Determination written all over his face, that's for sure. 3 points for Marslik. Anders Thompson in 2. Max Frick on 1. Patrick Dudek missing out this time. There we see the leader, Janowski on 13. 12 for Marslik. Nicholson on 11. Leon Madsen, the top 8 at the moment. Before it's confirmed, we're looking at Doyle and Lambert squeaking in, which is really quite a bonus for them. Lingard, Vasilek, Bewley, Dudek, Woofenden, Jack Holder, Frick, all missing out this evening. We have witnessed some super qualifying races already.
To jest najlepsze radio w sieci. Oj, chyba nie. To jest najlepsze radio w sieci.
really struggling for words without saying stuff that I'm allowed to say on TV.
Right, well, we'll go with voice swear, but the new point system it may not all be over, and still an awful long way to go yet, so keep your chin up, and we know you got it in the bag.
Yeah, 100%, you know, it's always a long season, so I guess it's nice to get this one out of the way, and after the weekend I've had, you know, the van breaking down for getting my passport and all that sort of stuff, it's been a nightmare. So.
Stand mate, so move on. Good luck.
Been a difficult weekend for the three-time World Champion, but we know he'll bounce back in 2 weeks' time in Warsaw. Boys are making their way round to the start line. We've got less than a minute before the first semi-final gets underway. Leon Matson on the inside, he's enjoyed a good night. Maciej Janowski topped the charts. He goes out of gate number 2 in blue. Anders Thompson coming out of gate number 3 in white. And on the outside, Robert Lambert, who qualified on 7 points. He goes off the outside in yellow. Can Robert make the final? That really would be a turnaround after a disappointing last couple of rides.
As I was saying, brave move to allow Leon Matson on the inside of him. He's made pretty good starts tonight. He's got a lot of speed.
Yeah.
As we were saying, Anders Thompson's in the ascendancy. He's got better and better and better as the night's gone on. So, yeah.
Difficult to call. Difficult to call.
You know, you put yourself in the middle of that. I would have been tempted to go off gate 1. But there we go.
Absolutely. But Janowski didn't hesitate. He went for gate number 2. Settling down. Green light is about to come on his arm. Takes her up. Away they go. Neck and neck to the first corner. Janowski just about. What a move from Lambert. Lambert then up on the inside. Now Janowski. Thompson round the outside. Janowski. Thompson neck and neck through turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap. They complete the lap. Thompson hits the front. What a night of Speedway. He's enjoying the Danish rider. Now Janowski responding very, very tight. Very tight as they go down the back straight for the second time.
Janowski's going to push him all the way because there's just nothing in this race. He doesn't want to put himself vulnerable to be overtaken again and miss out on the final spot. He can't quite find the pace to get himself past.
He's faster than Thompson.
He just can't get himself past him.
He doesn't want to go outside. Keep your eyes on Leon Matson. Matson now working hard on the outside. 1 lap to go in the first semi-final. Out in front, Anders Thompson is riding supremely well. Janowski down the back straight. Leon Matson now 1 corner to go. Don't think he's going to get there. Anders Thompson and Janowski through to the final. What a night for Anders Thompson. You've got to praise that boy. After a desperately disappointing start in his first ride where he just literally roared through the tapes, he comes through in flying colours and finds himself in the final alongside Maciej Janowski. What a ride from Anders Thompson.
Brilliant night. As I said, he's been looking for a little bit more speed out of his bikes in the last week and started testing a few different engines, but yeah, does a great job. And it looked like Leon Matson had made the best reaction there, but Janowski just works the bike, finds his way through the gap, but Anders Thompson all the time is just building that momentum, taking the wide line, using the dirt, that little bit of extra grip that's out there, not a lot after the track break, and it does get very tight going into turn 3, but Anders Thompson, as we've said, you know, he's just getting faster and faster, that confidence is building.
It is indeed. That was a terrific effort from the Danish rider, coming through in flying colours to make the final here this evening after it was all doom and gloom earlier on in the evening.
I was talking to Hans Nielsen earlier today, the Danish team manager, and he said that he wanted to get a Dane in every final throughout the year, and he felt that with the 3 he's got, he could do that.
Yeah, well, so far so good. Up at tape semi-final number 2. Thompson's through to the final. His work is not done yet. So on the inside, Anders Thompson, good winning time. Maciej Janowski in second. Leon Matson and Robert Lambert missing out this time. Semi-final number 2 then. And it's got something to live up to. Semi-final run going very nicely indeed. Mikhail Nicholson is on the inside here, because Bartosz Sparslik actually chose to go out of gate number 2, as did his compatriot in semi-final number 1. In the inside, Mikhail Nicholson in red. On gate number 2 in blue is Bartosz Sparslik. Gate number 3 in white is Matti Zagard. Good night for him so far. And on the outside, we've got Jason Doyle, who once again, like Robert Lambert, got in here on 7 points. But Doyle, maybe something stunning in that first corner. Maybe could he force his way through into the top 2? I'm sure this is going to be action-packed, Chris.
We haven't seen a dull race all night, Kelvin, and this isn't going to be one.
No, it isn't. This lineup is strong. There's no question about that. Heart rates Well, not too bad. Probably I could just about cope with 163. Get 163. Settling down now. Not too long now before the green light comes on. There it is. Whoa, long pause. And away they go. Bartos Mosley out of gate number 2 makes a terrific start. Fires himself into that first corner. Roars down the back straight. And he hits the front. He's pulling away. Mikhail Nicholson now settling in second place. Zagar's out wide. Doyle's at the back. Got to say from there, going to be a hard man to pass. Bartos Mosley. Terrific start. He's looking better and better the longer the night goes on. Bartos Mosley.
Yeah, what can we say? He'll just keep working with his pick through, finding every advantage he can. He looks very comfortably out front. Fair to say, Matty Zagar hasn't given up, but I just don't think he can find that race now.
Yeah, just over a lap to go. Smarslick looking good. Mikhail Nicholson also settled nicely in second place. Zagar trying everything he knows back in third place, but just not able to land a blow. So it's looking like we're going to get a second Polish rider through to the final this evening. And Bartosz Smarslick wins. He's through to the final. Mikhail Nicholson follows him home in second place. He joins Bartosz Smarslick in the final tonight. Matty Zagar will be disappointed. I'm sure he was desperate to make the final. He'll do a lap of honour and wave goodbye to his fans before he goes back to the pits. But Bartosz Smarslick in his last 3 outings really has come on strong. And you've got to believe that the rest of the opposition, the other 3 riders in the final, will be concerned. Here we see it again, Chris.
Yeah, cracking stuff from Smarslick. He's just, he's looking, more and more comfortable with the conditions, comfortable with his bike as the night's gone on. One thing that he's lacking a little bit, not so much in this race, but he's not made consistent starts tonight, which is always good for us watching. It provides the entertainment for us. And this race settled down fairly early on. Zagar kept having a go, and there he is just riding around the track.
Well, he's had a good night.
Yeah, he's pulling a few wheelies, and the fans here love him. But this race was all about these two, Smarslick, Nicholson in the final.
Was indeed, and Smarslick through to the final where he expected to see him. And joined by the European champion, Mikhail Nicholson, riding strongly this evening. And there will be another Danish rider in there as well. So 2 Danes making the final this evening, with Anders Thompson coming through in fine style in the first semi-final. And fans now, let me see the result. Bartosz Smarslick winning in fine style. Mikhail Nicholson comfortably through in second place. Zagar just missing out, but he's had a good night. He'll be pleased with that as wild card. And Jason Doyle, unfortunately, not just being quite at the races in the latter part of the meeting. Started well, but faded away, but made the semi-finals. Picked up some good World Championship points. But we will see the boys coming forward very shortly for the final. No track rating now for the final. We will see Smarslick come forward for the first pick. Anders Thompson will have the second one. And it'll be interesting to see if Smarslick goes to gate number 2 once again. He made a good run to the first corner out of gate 2 that last time.
Yeah, I think both Janoski and Smarslick proved that possibly is the gate to have right now.
Oh yeah, although you've got to give a lot of credit to Thompson. Thompson coming through there, proving that you can win from another gate, that's for sure. But I suspect that the inside gates will be favoured by the boys that get the preferable picks, the first picks, no question.
And the track's not going to be graded by the looks of things before the final,
never do.
So that's a good thing. That's the right way of doing things.
Yeah. So we will be waiting patiently now before the boys come forward to make their choices. Fans have had a wonderful time. The sound system, the enthusiasm from all concerned has really made this a terrific night to be at. It's been an event. It's been something to really remember, and these fans will go home and say that they have witnessed something pretty special. One big race to go. First final of the year here in Godeshan in Croatia. It's been a fabulous night of Speedway. It's a new era of Speedway for Discovery Sports events, and they will be delighted, I'm sure. There would have been some nerves, a little bit of anxiety kicking about, there's no doubt about that. But crikey, they come out with a real special event, so they can be proud of themselves. I'm sure they will be. Touch relieved as well, I suggest, but
very much so. I think they worked very hard for this event, first one, and they pulled it off. It's been absolutely fantastic. Truly successful weekend. It's just a shame that we've got to wait 2 weeks for the next one.
Yeah, but maybe take a couple of weeks to get over this one. I'm going to be quite tired by the time we get home. It's going to be a long weekend. There's been a lot to do today with the qualifying in the middle of the day. And the track has held up really well.
Fantastic, brilliant race surface.
Yeah, so fans just taking a few breaths, a little bit of refreshment before the final.
The first rider to select start position for the final, Bartosz Zmarzlik, selects blue.
Zmarzlik, no surprise at all, will come out of gate number 2. No hesitation from him.
Poker face on.
Yeah, poker face on. Well, this is the business end of the meeting.
Second choice for the gate pick for the final, Anders Thompson selects white.
Oh. Well, he made that work previously and quite clearly feels comfortable there, so replicating his semi-final start position.
Third choice for the final gate pick is Maciej Janowski. Magic selects red.
No hesitation from Janowski, goes straight for the inside gate.
And final pick for the final gate choice is Mikhail Nicholson, who selects yellow.
No choice for Nicholson, he had to go for the outside gate, so the 2 Danish riders on gates 3 and 4 and the Polish boys on gates 1 and 2. And really has been a terrific night of Speedway. And the final actually has got something to live up to because we have had some sensational Speedway.
Poland beat Denmark, who's coming out on top.
Yeah, well, I would say the stats would suggest probably that Poland should win it, but it isn't one on paper, it's one on shale over 4 laps. But my feeling is, my instinct is that Bartosz Zmarzlik is just narrowly the favourite to pick up his first Grand Prix win of the season. Janowski showed some stunning speed earlier on tonight, but just dropped a couple of points later on, but he's there in the final. Maximum score, of course, you're going to get here for a win. It's 20 World Championship points, 18 for second, 16 for third, 14 for fourth. So this is where you want to be for those big point scores. And for Bartosz Zmarzlik, of course, the red-hot favourite for this year's championship, will be very keen to get his campaign off and sort of set a marker down for the season.
It's not far away now. I can see Maciej Janowski, Anders Thompson looking over the fence now, just trying to set their mindset on that first turn.
Bartosz Zmarzlik is now in his 39th final. He has actually won 15 of them, Chris, so he's had a pretty decent record. He does indeed, and this is the 26th final for Maciej Janowski, and he goes off the inside and he's won 8 Grand Prix. Anders Thompson, well, he's made 1 final and he hasn't won one yet, so maybe tonight could very much be his. And Mikhail Nicholson, the European champion, certainly he hasn't made a final, so this is his first final outing tonight, so he'll be looking to get on, at the very least, to get on the rostrum. Always disappointing to miss out on the rostrum when you are in the final. Of course, he finished 4th, he still had a good night, but you miss out on all the glory of standing on the box.
Yeah, as you say, it's been a good night, but you finished with the last place.
Yeah,
that's what you remember.
Sure, exactly, it's not what you want. Riders out on track. We've had a great night of Speedway. We have had a fabulous evening.
Fantastic.
And the crowd have just loved every moment of it, there's no doubt about it. And we have been, I certainly have been pleasantly surprised of how good the racing has been here in Goroshan this evening. It has been truly outstanding. And we've got approximately 60 seconds to determine the first winner of the 2022 World Championship Grand Prix campaign. And it's
going to ask you, Kelvin, who's it going to be?
Oh, well, I've got to put, my favourite is Bartosz Zmarzlik.
Well, since you've taken Zmarzlik, I said it earlier, he could be a spoiler. I'm going to go with Thompson.
Yep, and I can understand that. He has ridden on the inside. Maciej Janowski out of gate number 1 in red. Gate 2 in blue is Bartosz Zmarzlik. Gate 3 in white is Anders Thompson. Off the outside in yellow is Mikhail Nicholson, who's ridden really nicely. The two-time European champion, actually, has ridden superbly well. Plenty of work going on the start. Nerves there. Janowski once again, his heart rate right up there, 172. Marca Schmarzlik, I mean, he's so calm. It's 136. You wouldn't know he's just gone for a little jog round the park. And he comes out of gate number 2. And it's Thompson. Mikhail Nicholson. Can Thompson do something spectacular? Can he win his first Grand Prix, his second final in his career? Or will it be Mikhail Nicholson in his debut in the final? Fantastic. Janowski's ready. Start Marshall's getting a little impatient, wants the boys to settle down. They're close between gates 2 and 3, that's for sure. Green light's about to come on. Here we go. The grand final. Times are up and away they go. Janowski makes a good jump. But Schmarzlik's there. Oh, down they go. Mickelson's gone down. Bit of contact between Thompson and Mickelson on the way to the first turn. First corner incident of the night. We've had to wait until heat 23 before any first turn drama. What are your thoughts there, Chris?
I need to see it again, but I've got a feeling that there's a definite case for all 4 back. That's what I'd like to see. But of course, we need to take another look at it, really.
4, that's my instinct, all 4 back. Can we see it again, mate?
Yeah, they come from the start. Pretty even break, as you would expect in the final. I don't know. I need to see some closer angles of that one. He could go. Very even break from the start. Schmarzlik working the clutch hard. And as Thompson got the front wheel in the air, it took maybe for too long, but this is where it happens. Mickelson, yeah, he's trying to come across. You'd expect that. It's a Grand Prix final. There's going to need to be contact here. Am I not? There could be. I can't see from there. There really could be.
Well, Chris, I've got to say that I think it will probably be all 4.
There's contact. I think it should be all 4.
Yeah, referee's made his decision. We're having that confirmed now. Jesper Steentoft has made his decision, and we will see all 4 riders back at tapes, which is a good news. You want to see 4 riders in the final.
He hasn't had much to do tonight, but he's made a decision there.
It's been a pretty cool night actually for the referee. He hasn't had too many awkward decisions to make, that's for sure. And in truth, my instinct was there straight away that we would see all 4 riders back in the rerun. Slight delay here with Mickelson just making his way back to his pit bay. Very impressive pit bays, I must say, brand new. Very, very, very impressive indeed. But it's an opportunity for his team just to... This is an issue where now Phil Morris is kind of in charge. He will give the nod to the referee when he feels that a sufficient amount of time has passed for Mikhail Nicholson to get his equipment ready for the rerun. So he'll keep...
Director determines the time.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So
that's how it should be.
Yeah, so he's in the pits there, keeping an eye on the work that's going on Mikhail Mickelson's bike. We're seeing it again.
Yeah, Mikhail Mickelson tries to come across. You know, that's what you've got to do. It's a Grand Prix final.
Could he have been excluded? Could he have been excluded for that?
It would have been very, very harsh.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, he's been ridden into. The bottom line is he hasn't darted right across. Yes, he's come across a bit. He's had to straighten up, but at the end of the day,
it's the right call. It's the right call.
Yeah,
definitely. And we will see both of the Danish riders back up the tapes. Mickelson just giving himself a few moments
down.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And you work for the mechanics, got to check everything now.
Yeah, make sure there's some fuel in it.
Yeah. Very important, that.
What are they up to there? What are they getting? You know, they're putting fuel in the bike, obviously.
Putting fuel in, obviously they're cooling the clutch. There can sometimes be a little bit of clutch damage when the bike goes down like that because it falls straight onto the clutch. It's the first thing that takes the impact. Yeah, the clock's running down, just over a minute and a half, but I think they've got this covered.
Yeah.
And Nielsen there.
Minute and a half to go for all 4 riders to be at tapes. They must be at tapes. Marta Schmarzlik takes the short route and is already there up at tapes, ready to go. And that's Janowski arriving also on the inside. Anders Thompson is just gently making his way round. Just over a minute to go before Mikhail Nicholson needs to be back at tape. Second time of asking. On the inside in red is Maciej Janowski. Gate number 2 in blue, Bartosz Marslik. Gate number 3 in white is Anders Thompson. And Mikhail Nicholson, who is now entering the arena, will go from the outside in yellow. And will he stay on his motorbike this time? Hugely competitive race. The nerves are jangling now. Second time of asking, Chris.
Yeah, first attempt was a very even break. Got to say, I think it will be again.
Yeah, I fancy the man in blue, that's for sure. Bartosz Marslik, but as I say, at this sudden death now, really have got to keep your nerves together. I'd say that 180 heart rate there. I wonder if that machine is correct, because I'm going to say 180 beats per minute. Certainly, Maciej Janowski, his heart is pounding away there on the inside. Settling down, second time of asking, the grand final, opening round of the World Championship. Here we go! Away they go to the first turn. Bartosz Marslik, fabulous start from gate number 2. Here they come on the inside, Anders Thompson. Oh! Wow, how tight was that? Mikhail Nicholson, excuse me, it was Nicholson who forced his way into second place. Janowski now trying around the outside. Bartosz Marslik's away. He's got the victory in his back pocket. Now Janowski responds, roaring around the outside. Will it be a Dane? Polish 1-2, but once again Nicholson's there. Janowski now switches to the inside, Chris.
Yes, Marslik took him quite a while this evening to find the perfect setup, but look at him going away in a class field. These guys have all been fast tonight, but Marslik really comfortably out front, and it looks like Janowski's settled down for second place this evening. The Dane's scrapping it out at the back.
Down the back straight for the last time of the evening. Bartosz Marslik absolutely in a class of his own in the final. Comes out of the last corner and Bartosz Marslik wins in Croatia here in Gorican this evening. Fabulous effort once again. The former world champion coming alive. Longer the meeting went on, the better he got. Superb stuff from Bartosz Marslik. Maciej Janowski's strong performance back in second place. A Polish 1-2 in the evening. And there Mikhail Nicholson in third and Anders Thompson just missing out on the rostrum.
What a performance. All day he's been on top of his game. Marslik topped the qualifying and now wins the Grand Prix. Fantastic start to the series, Ben.
Well, totally dominant. Fastest man in the qualifying, took the start position number 5, comes through in flying colours in the final. Sensational start, celebrates with his team. They'll be delighted. He will have a massive weight of expectation this year, but this man, he can cope with it. He's shown he can.
He couldn't have made a better start.
And for Bartosz Marslik, he's just thrown the gauntlet down. Come and get me if you can. Chris, what a performer.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And he had to work for the points. It's not like he just made cracking starts all night. He was winning races from 4th.
He was indeed. He saw some stunning performances, you're right.
Can he find the consistency to take the fight to Marslik?
Well, he started well.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks' time in his own country in Warsaw, we will see if he can back it up and produce another display, something like that. We know that Marslik can. He's overjoyed. He's delighted. Now we're seeing a bit of emotion. That poker face, I would suggest, has just slipped a moment. Mickelson in third. Thompson's done extraordinarily well to make the final. Fair play to him after such a disappointing night. Here we see it again.
Yeah, Anders Thompson's taking the long way round, but he just can't generate that speed against a quality lineup in the final. But Bartosz Marslik needed to make at least one more decent start tonight, and that was it. When the pressure was on, he knew what he was doing. And you can see there Mickelson just looking for a way up the inside. And at that point, just can't find his way past Janowski. Cracking night for Janowski. At times, he's been exceedingly quick.
Yeah, and we've seen that before from him, and he's ridden nicely. But I think that there's no question that it's been a fabulous night of Grand Prix Speedway. And you haven't been able to take your eyes off it all night long. And now we've got the presentation to come. But that man, Absolutely outstanding. You've got to feel for Artem Laguta now. I've got to make a mention of it because he was the only one last year that could keep the same pace. He's not here. And somebody, maybe it could be Janowski, has got to be able to put some pressure on.
Proszę Państwa, Radio Sport Polonia, radio z pasją dla pasjonatów. Teraz będzie w języku polskim. Kochani, koniec. Za nami bardzo interesujące, emocjonujące zawody inaugurujące Speedway Grand Prix 2022 w Gorican. Najlepszy okazał się Bartosz Zmarzlik, dla którego jest to już 16. triumf w karierze w światowym cyklu. Na podium stanęli także Maciej Janowski i Mikhail Nicholson. A więc gratulacje dla naszych zawodników, gratulacje dla pozostałych uczestników dzisiejszych zmagań. A więc w klasyfikacji generalnej nic się tutaj nie zmieni, bo będzie to samo co dzisiaj, jeśli chodzi o klasyfikację tego Grand Prix. A więc pierwszy Bartek Zmarzlik, drugi Maciej Janowski, trzeci Mikhail Nicholson, czwarty będzie Anders Thompson, piąty Leo Madsen, szósty Matej Żagar, siódmy Robert Lambert, ósmy Jason Doyle, dziewiąty Frederick Lingard, dziesiąty Martin Baculik, 11 Daniel Bewley, 12 kolejny z Polaków, Patryk Dudek, 13 Ty Wolfinden, 14 Jack Holder, 15 Max Frick, 16 Paweł Przedpelski, 17 Nick Skoria oraz 18 Denis Fazekarz. No cóż, kochani, czekamy na kolejne Speedway Grand Prix i kolejne Speedway Grand Prix z udziałem naszych zawodników i Radia Sport Polonia. Dzisiaj po raz pierwszy było to w wersji oryginalnej, angielskiej, ale mam dla Was wszystkich dobrą wiadomość. Otóż Discovery Eurosport 2 z United Kingdom oferuje Wam pakiet miesięczny oglądania Eurosportu, gdzie będziecie tam mieć w tym pakiecie nie tylko Speedway Grand Prix, ale będziecie mieć ligę Premiership, czyli żużlową angielską najwyższą klasę rozgrywkową. W każdy poniedziałek, już teraz zapraszamy Was na relację, będzie jeździło m.in. Wolverhampton z Kings Lynn, a więc macie w tym pakiecie miesięcznym za niecałe 4 funty właśnie wszystkie cykle Speedway Grand Prix, wszystko związane z motorsportem, a więc możecie po prostu oglądać. Dlatego wchodźcie na aplikację Discovery Eurosport, subscribe, to jest £4 and monthly. This is very cheap. You can watch after that Speedway Grand Prix and Premiership British Speedway as well. Probably maybe it's a different tournament and Speedway on motorsport as well. A więc to tyle z naszej strony. Dziękujemy, pozdrawiamy. Przy okazji program na jutro, co jutro dziać się będzie w Radiu Sport Polonia, a naprawdę zapowiada się bardzo bogaty maj, a więc wkraczamy w nowy miesiąc z nowymi dyscyplinami i z nowymi dla Was tutaj emocjami, bo będą to nowe dyscypliny sportu. Więc już Wam mówię, drodzy nasi słuchacze, otóż jutro, a więc Sunday, every day, everyone's so. Jutro zapraszamy Was już o 1:30 na, dokładnie dzisiaj w nocy na 1:30 na MLS Live, czyli mecz Orlando City Charlotte. Charlotte występuje Siosarski, a więc mamy dwóch polskich zawodników. Mamy nadzieję, że w dzisiejszym spotkaniu nasi tutaj piłkarze wystąpią. Za chwilę zobaczymy, potwierdzimy Wam, czy będziemy mogli oglądać dzisiaj dwóch naszych polskich piłkarzy w drużynie Charlotte. I na tą chwilę na razie nie mamy składów. Wiemy, że nie będzie grał w Orlando City Antonio Carlos, Brazylijczyk, a w drużynie gości, czyli Charlotte, Amerykanin Haggard. Wiadomo, że w Charlotte oprócz napastnika Karola Świderskiego również gra Kamil Jóźwiak, więc tutaj może będzie okazja, jeżeli się wykurował Kamil Jóźwiak, to po prostu będzie możliwość zobaczenia. Jutro również o pierwszej wracamy do Speedwaya. Otóż Winner pierwsza liga i spotkanie Wielki Krosno Orzeł Łódź. O 3:30 bardzo ważny o awansie do wyższej dywizji mecz finałowy hokeja na lodzie z tych, a więc Ice Hockey World Cup First Division B i tam mecz Polska-Japonia. 4:30, a więc po tym spotkaniu dokładnie, a więc może to będzie druga połowa spotkania dopiero, derby Krakowa, Krakowia-Wisła i ostatnia pozycja jutro, 4:00, 6:15, kolejny raz Speedway, tym razem Ekstraliga, spotkanie Apatora Toruń z Motorem Lublin. ABC DFG pyta, kiedy będzie można tutaj zobaczyć to Grand Prix? Nie będzie można, to jest radio, to nie jest telewizja, nie są to po prostu, jeżeli już byśmy chcieli udostępnić, nie mamy z tego tytułu żadnych korzyści finansowych. No za darmo też nikt nie będzie z nas prowadził kanału, więc my też musimy na tym zarobić, więc tytuł reklam był od razu zablokowany i nie wiadomo, oczywiście się długo nacieszyli. Nie wiem, jakie są tutaj zasady Discovery, możliwe, że mielibyśmy za zabieranie praw autorskich, z tytułu praw autorskich moglibyśmy mieć nawet zabrane, a więc ostrzeżenie, więc musicie nam wybaczyć. To tyle z naszej strony. Pozdrawiam Was ze studia w POOLE, tutaj z południowej Anglii. No i zapraszamy na kolejne Speedway Grand Prix. Trzymajcie się, wszystkiego dobrego. Mówiąc te słowa, Adam Nis.
To jest najlepsze radio w sieci. Oj, chyba nie. To jest najlepsze radio w sieci.